Guys, I don't want to do this.
You can't open with, I don't want to do this.
Sorry. I'm happy
that you're all here.
that you're all here.
Thank you for being here. Isaac,
I'm
Moop.
happy you're here.
I'm happy to see you. Hi, Ruben. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing?
We're all doing our best.
We're all here.
We're all here.
We're all here.
Trying our darndest.
Yeah.
I think it's like when we get to the podcast, it's gonna be like, how are we all doing today? And it's like, well, bad.
Well, bad.
Bad.
Bad. It's bad.
I don't know. Pretend there are technical difficulties. I mean, we should.
Sure. Everything just crashed.
Horrible week.
Horrible week.
Horrible week.
Horrible.
Well, we're fucked. I mean, we're happy to see you too.
We're happy.
Hi from work, Jeffrey.
You know what? We're all still here.
We're all still here for now.
Yep.
Able to speak freely for now.
For now.
Okay, see, babe.
Babe.
We're gonna jump on here and say, don't talk tonight. Literally, you know where you are. You're here for whatever reason. Keep all comments to yourself. This is a perfect time to send yourself an email. All right? So if you have a fucking anchor by your name, keep an eye on that person and you know what I'm talking about. Because tonight's not the night. All right?
Send that email.
Send that email to yourself.
That email to yourself.
All right.
Wish everyone the best.
Wish everybody the best. I'm sorry that you got sick, Moop. I hate to hear that. You're a beacon of life as well, Ruben.
Thank you. Hello, Argentina.
Hello, Argentina. I'm from Pennsylvania. Sorry. It wasn't your fault. But hi.
You did what you could, Benjamin.
Yes. Listen to Mariah, Fly Like a Bird. We love that. We love Fly Like a Bird.
Fly Like a Bird. A classic.
A classic.
A classic.
A perfect.
Great vocals. Great vocals.
Okay, yeah. Grace, block her. Block her. Block him. Block her. We've done this enough. We've had this person in our comments saying bad shit for weeks and not saying anything.
We've been
block
polite,
him.
baby.
We're done. Yeah. Okay. Great. Talk in your own. Go back to Facebook, babe. You don't need to be here. Okay.
All right. Well, I guess
that's that on that. That's that on that. Like tonight's not the night.
You know,
I did watch the Pod Save America. Wasn't sure if you guys would be up for this tonight. Really glad to be here.
Babe, it's our job.
It is. And we didn't put out a video last week.
No, we didn't do that. We didn't do that part of the job.
We didn't do that part of the job.
We called off that day.
But because it's like, let's just reconfigure. Let's get ourselves back together. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you like the vest. We love a dinosaur.
We love a dinosaur.
On the bright side, Christmas is soon. That's great. I love Christmas. And we have a holiday live show coming up.
We have a holiday live show coming up.
November 23rd at the Lyric Hyperion.
Yes.
You are going to have the best time. It's going to... I was working on the song today.
Oh.
Yes. So we're going to get together, get everything together. It's going to be a fun, lovely evening, and we'd love to interact with all of you in real life.
And it's going to be beautiful.
Well, all of you that are unmuted.
Okay, well,
sorry,
I took it there.
I'm sorry. I just, we're on high alert. We're on high alert.
Not today.
Not
as the great Hillary Duff said.
Not today.
Not today. Not today.
Yeah, it's just we all.
Not today.
Big part of life is reading the room.
Read the room.
And not everybody has that.
Hello, holding your hands to the side of the majority. Well,
have you seen The Substance?
Substance was a time.
Is crochet top season finally over? Love that for you. Hey, they might come back out. It's not that cold yet, but I have a little sweater.
Yeah, sure. It's warm during the day still.
Yes, it is.
But then that sun sets and it's like...
I know. So that's where we are.
Yeah, that's what LA is like.
Why did something happen this week, Montana? We're moving to Australia. We'll see you there. Hi, Match. Good to join you. See y'all laughing. You joined a little late, but yes.
Yeah, you a couple minutes ago.
Whatever the opposite of laughing is.
It was a little
That's
much,
what it was.
but
loved your cameo on Dr. Odyssey, Matt asked. My friend from home texted me about your cameo and was like, tell Matt Steele he was radiant on Dr. Odyssey.
Thank you.
So,
radiant is strong. I did the job. I just said the line and I was fine.
I thought you did a great job.
What do you think about Sabrina's upcoming Netflix special?
I'm excited about it. Oh, I think my sister's here. She's Black Book Management Group. I want a dinosaur sweater. I got it off of ASOS. I don't know if they still have it, but.
Your sister?
Yes, my sister. Yes.
Your sister-in-law. Oh, okay.
No, my sister. My sister. Yeah. I have half siblings.
Oh, you have to have half siblings.
Hello.
I forgot about your half siblings.
Wow, friendship over here. Hi. I about lost my mind. I mean, yes. I'm trying to find comments that are positive. And it's hard. It doesn't feel good. She is. I love you. We love you too, Renee.
We love you, Renee.
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Renee. I'm sorry I forgot you existed for a second.
No,
you see, we don't live together for a couple years, and I totally forgot your family tree.
I know. Some people, ouch, look at that. She's
I'm
offended.
So sorry. You know, you can punch me when you meet me.
I mean,
in
it's
real
good.
life, Renee. It's fine.
Library pictures, none. Like none.
Library pictures.
Library pictures had a question. And the answer is no.
Oh, I didn't read the question.
She was going for like a silver lining, a glass half full, which is generally our point of view.
Sure, you got, maybe
and love from New Zealand. So
3 months from now, I'll be like, let's try this. But right now, I'm just taking a break.
We're all take a break.
Yeah, saw Honora needed to sweep at the Oscars.
Oh.
I got some to jury duty and didn't go. What do you think is gonna happen? You should go. You should
go.
I call them and be like, I'm sorry. Send me another one. And I've known and loved you, Matt Stickler, for longer than you've known I existed.
He knew. He must have known at some point.
I completely forgot. I've known for years about you, Renee.
What a positive. There were Beyonce visuals. Kind of.
Those were not. Let's not pretend.
There was a music video. She was like lipping to a song. It was something. I was like, I'll take it. I can't really think about 2028 right now, guys.
Oh, yeah, guys. I'm just letting the people who are professionals do their job.
Yes.
And I will continue to do my job, which is work at a restaurant and scream about pop music on the internet.
Yes.
And say a line here and there on a Ryan special.
Murphy.
Murphy
Not
show.
you forgetting everyone.
Oh, God.
We're
making everyone mad tonight. I'm so sorry.
First Renee, now Ryan Murphy. Who you think's going to sweep at the Grammys next? I hope no one sweeps, honestly. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we like spreading the wealth.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. No visual words. She's such a troll. For real. She tried it with 9999 no visual words. That was rude. Beyonce. That was rude. But, she's a funny lady.
What's 9999?
That was when she was the Pamela Anderson on her. Did you see her Instagram where she dressed up as Pamela Anderson?
I saw she dressed up as Prince for Halloween.
Yes, and then she dressed up as Pamela Anderson as well. And then that was why the bodyguard visuals were her as Pamela Anderson and Baywatch and all of that. And so, yeah, she posted on her Instagram and she was Pamela Anderson at the VMA like red carpet on the 9999 one. And her backdrop said 9999 no visual awards instead of VMAs, like visual music awards.
Oh, that's kind of funny. Okay.
It's like so rude.
Wow.
Can't wait for the Scherzinger talk. So messy. It's like, babe,
it's like, what are we doing?
More people that need to read the room.
I know. I still think "Hit Me Hard and Soft" wins album of the year.
It could happen. They love Billy.
Absolutely happen. Comment swung right globally. Yeah.
What was happening?
Things have sort of swung right, like globally.
We'll talk about it, but it's not even just right. It's like it swung against the incumbents because the opposite happened in Britain. But again, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. I can imagine Act 3 will be heavily Prince influenced. Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah. I hope Torture Poets Department wins so I can laugh.
Lord,
you know what? If it does, I'd laugh too.
I've seen worse results recently than Torture
I'd be
Poets.
Like, go ahead. Congratulations, Taylor. My
worth.
version of Torture Poets
does
deserve album of the year.
Our versions are great. Love all the girlies nominated for Best New Artist, but I'm campaigning for Doechii. All right. Did you guys watch the Olivia concert film? It's great, and Olivia is a great performer. I haven't seen it yet.
Great. Love that.
Anti-incumbency hurt Kamala as well. Absolutely.
I thought Nicole just co-opted that annoying slogan like many before. She wasn't really supporting
We'll talk about it.
No, we don't know.
Oh, I have a clue. Because that's not the only post.
That is not the only
So
post.
I think we do know.
I think we do know. And also the post.
Yeah.
She didn't clarify much. But
she did not. Yeah, no, Ty, it's bad.
Wave. Stan Twitter, fine, have a meltdown if Taylor wins album of the year.
Not what you think will win, but what is your favorite album nominated for album of the year? Oh, good question. I mean, we'll talk about it probably when we get to the
After
podcast.
Wednesday, I don't care about any results at the Grammys. Nothing matters. Bye, Sunset Boulevard.
I was literally listening to it because we're going to do a Patreon review, and then I saw that, and I was like,
okay.
And the thing is, like, if you had asked me before that day, it's great. She's great.
Sure.
But she's awful. And who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew?
I'm sure the other Pussycat Dolls knew.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Melody Thornton absolutely knew.
Sure.
She knew.
Did you see Olivia had Deja Vu taken off TikTok because pro-Trumpers were using it? Good for her. I already hated Nicole when she ruined the Pussycat Dolls reunion, but I'm glad everyone else went board.
Oh, God. Love both, but I'm going with Cowboy. Yeah, I might pick. I mean, we'll talk about it, but of course. Yeah. Palmer, I loved the merch you created under duress. Can't wait to get something once it's launched. Thank you. I mean, we'll talk about it because we all cope in odd ways to life events that are so upsetting.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
And I coped by designing new merch.
Yeah, I know. And it looks beautiful.
Thank you. I was wondering if you liked it.
I know. You sent me the thing being like, how's this look? And I'm like, great.
Great. Wonderful.
Levi's jeans getting a duo nom over Two Most Wanted is wild.
Wait, but Two Most Wanted did get a nomination for something. I think maybe country duo or group performance, something. So it did get nominated. No one worried.
But still, if we had to pick between the two.
I mean, I don't even like Levi's jeans.
I love Levi's jeans, but like.
Do you think 143 Katy Perry should have been nominated? No, come on. She had never. She didn't win for Teenage Dream. You know what I'm saying? Like Katy should have won for that. And yeah, but 143 I don't think was her best work.
Teenage Dream over The Fame Monster?
I didn't say album of the year. I say give her like a pop vocal album or something.
Pop vocal album went to The Fame Monster.
Well, give her pop vocal song. Did I go to Bad Romance? Give her something to the song or album. Teenage Dream could have won something. That's all I'm saying. It's like when, I'm not going to say a bad word about Jagged Little Pill, but Daydream should have won something.
Okay.
Not to say that either of those albums are either of those albums, but whatever.
Sure. I think Billy's going to take thoughts on Ariana fans being mad we can't be friends. Was snubbed. I mean...
I'm with them. I'm with them. Like, yeah.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
At least have Wicked to look forward to.
That's true.
And no noms for Dua. We'll talk about that. But
we will. That was interesting. It's like anti not winning anything. It was crazy. Yes. Wild that We Can't Be Friends didn't even get nominated for music video. Yeah, we'll talk about it. It's hard.
I was nominated for music video. I didn't look too in depth at the Grammy nomination.
I mean, that's not one of the...
I was busy that day.
Yes.
It was hard to wake up in the morning.
Well, we've been busy all week.
The
thing is, if we're able to get out of bed, live our lives the best of our ability,
turn that computer on and sit here, and
I think we're doing pretty good.
We're doing pretty good.
Yeah,
we also have Moana too.
Yes. I don't even have Wicked to look forward to anymore because I've already seen it, which is such an insane...
See it again.
Flo's album's almost out. That's exciting.
Wait, I need your thoughts on Cynthia Revio saying she was thankful Glinda didn't do...
go to the... That was shady.
The two actresses.
I'm trying to know who they are.
I know.
Who she's referring to.
Katy Perry's done for a while. She's learned her lesson. I prefer the radical optimism singles over the future nostalgia tracks. I bet Chapel and Sabrina will split most categories. Hello, Austin. Music videos clearly between Kendrick and Taylor. Do As These Walls is one of the most underrated songs of the year. I like that song.
I do like that song.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of homophobia happening in WeHo, really. I'm not in WeHo, so
that will not prevail.
Yeah. I mean, hey, y'all. Sorry I'm late. No, don't be sorry, Nicholas. How are we doing? We're getting through.
We're doing Weekend.
Would you feel weird if Beyonce takes album of the year like it took her to make a country album, a stereotypically white genre, to win? I mean, I would be happy because it's like she has deserved it so many times, and Cowboy Carter is my personal favorite of the year. But I will never not be mad about Renaissance and Lemonade. You know, like never.
Yeah. Panther. It was too much of a divergent.
What was?
They're discussing politics.
Oh.
Like the reasons why.
Yeah, well.
Someone said it's a curse to wear a crop top and a long skirt to the Grammys. Mariah, Rihanna. And Ariana wore them and didn't win any.
That's a funny theory. You know, we all are coming out of this week with lots of theories.
Lots of theories.
Like Matt Steele can't be alone on election night.
Yep. I can't go back to Jersey during the fall of an election year.
No.
Or else bad things happen.
It's all true.
And self-titled.
Yeah, self-titled, of course. But I mean...
See, self-titled, it was the first time where it was like a robbery.
It was.
And it was kind of just like, okay, well, you know, Beck's been around a long time. I mean, I didn't listen to that album, so I can't say whether it was deserving or not over, you know, self-titled. But But then when things happen a second time, you start to question.
That's a great point. You just start to question
When things start to happen,
everything.
It's like, what's the constant in all of these experiments?
Oh God. Yay, Palmer still likes Cowboy Carter. Too many people are rewriting history and saying they don't care about it because Sabrina Chapel outshined with their pop hits. I mean, Chapel's got incredible singles. I think that Sabrina album I'm liking more and more every time I listen to it. But yeah, Cowboy Carter still. I mean, it's just it's very expansive.
Yes, it's a different
thing.
It's a whole different experience.
Absolutely.
Is it worse to wake up election news or slowly watch it unfold? Oh, I always just slowly watch it unfold.
We have different.
They're all bad.
Ways of dealing with it.
Bad.
It's all bad. It's all bad.
Well, Taylor wore a crop top at the Grammys for 1989, but her fuck ass Bob that year prevented the curse.
That's funny.
Did you guys watch CNN on election night? I was mostly on CNN.
I watched no news, like television news that night.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Would y'all want Beyonce to lose Album of the Year but get Country Album of the Year, then Album of the Year for Act 3? I'd love to see her get Album of the Year for a rock project.
I want her to win Album of the Year every time she puts out something of this caliber from here on out.
Sure.
Like of the caliber of like a Renaissance, Cowboy Carter, Lemonade. If it's up in that area, give her Album of the Year. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Beyonce in her 40s competing with these 20-year-olds. That's longevity. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hence why, I mean, I don't know if people were mad about Beyonce being our number one artist of the 21st century in that video, but that's kind of my thought process behind that. It's like she's been like the top of the pop culture conversation the entire time since the year 2000.
Whenever she puts out anything, it's the most exciting.
Absolutely.
Cowboy Carter feels very relevant now. It's been a hard week. Oh, thank you, Melanie.
We love you too. Never want to see an electoral map again. Oof. I get it. Mariah Carey's hosting the Grammys. She is not.
Lord will win Album of the Year next year.
Oh, she putting it out? She putting an album out?
Let's hear that first single.
I would love to hear that. I mean, if it's anything like get off the beach.
Get off the beach.
Great advice. Anything like melodrama.
Ooh. I wish Timeless by Meghan Trainor was nominated for Album of the Year. Best Album of the Year. Oh, I
haven't listened to that.
She's been the blueprint for a minute. You couldn't get us Kamala, Beyonce, no Grammys for you.
I mean, couldn't you say that to literally probably most of the artists nominated?
Yeah.
Taylor. They all endorsed. The endorsements, it was very clear.
Is it possible for Taylor to get shut out of the Grammys completely? I don't even see her getting pop vogue. Yeah, I don't know if she'll win anything this year.
It would be, I think it's not out of the realm of possibility. I think she's going to win something.
Okay.
But I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility.
Number one, oh, it's going so fast.
I know. I mean, I guess people are here 163 people want to talk tonight.
What?
163 people are here.
Oh, hi.
Yes, hi, everyone.
And we're so low energy. We are just like, guys, yeah, maybe the Grammy is the Grammys. Yeah, okay, sure.
It's just, I promise we're usually more fun.
We're usually more fun.
We're
Please
usually
subscribe.
more smiley. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. And if you're in LA, go to 2gaymatslive.com. Get your tickets to the live show at the Lyric Hyperion on November 23rd. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah, more fun than this is. Right now.
But we're commiserating, all right? And there's some smiles happening.
There's some smiles happening. Not on my face. But
I feel like Short and Sweet will be the Harry's House of this Grammys year, like a safe and offensive choice. I can't imagine they're giving.
I think Grammy voters look at an artist like Harry Styles and go, art. He's music. Whereas like they probably look at Sabrina Carpenter and think something a little different.
I think that, and also like, even though this is Sabrina's 6th album, like the Grammy listening audience is most likely, just hearing about her now. She's nominated for Best New Artist for her 6th album. So I feel like Harry had a longer time to like ingratiate himself to the Grammys world.
That is on top of it.
Yeah. Watch the video, Ruben. They snubbed Eras for Best Music Film, which is bizarre. We're all depressed. Let's be depressed together. How is she a new artist again? Well, because she had never been nominated again before.
Yeah.
And this was her breakthrough year. They just need to rename the category, honestly, at this point.
I'm trying, guys.
I think we're doing pretty well. And not to give ourselves pats on the back 20 minutes in.
We're making it through.
I think we're making
it through.
Well.
This was the podcast I didn't want to do.
Well, You have 12 days to get back to your usual perky selves, but no pressure.
Oh, well, honey, when there's an audience in front of me, I can whip it out. Let's just say,
he'll be able to do it.
Worry about that.
Do not fret. And hey, I already started arranging the song we're singing. And I'm like, probably doing too much with it because I'm like, it's just a silly song. Like,
who cares?
Do it. But I'm like,
express
it
yourself.
needs to sound exactly like
I know.
XYZ. Oh, it's going to be great.
Oh, God.
On another note, I just watched Juror Number 2 off your recommendation, and it was great.
Yeah, it's good.
Y'all are doing great, Mats. Thank you. It should be breakout artists. That makes sense.
Sure.
Short and sweet gets better with every listen. Absolutely. Do you prefer Midnights
great.
or Tortured Poets? I prefer my edited version of Tortured Poets to Midnights.
Yes. I think overall as a project, I think Tortured Poets is more successful, even though Midnights it's easier to listen to all the way through because it's
of course. It's not 31 tracks. When is the Legally Blonde watch party? It is this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, and you have to be there right on time because that's when it starts.
I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, don't forget, babe. You gotta be here.
I forgot about that.
It's happening this Thursday.
I'm glad I was reminded.
We love you too, Matt Rogers. But Midnights has Bejeweled. Yeah. I'm sorry, we're being bitchy tonight. Yeah. OMG, so true. I have my own. And that's the thing. If you think of Tortured Poets as like a choose your own adventure, and it really works.
Underrated films: Babylon and Joker. Folie à deux.
Oh.
Well, I mean, Babylon's great.
Yes.
And I do think that people were too hard on Joker too.
I mean, I love that Montana Grace. All of us are in very much like we will block you mood, and I think everyone else has been good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. A pleasant experience. You're all lovely people.
Yes, and we're all doing our best.
Tortured Poets is too bloated for me. Well, we never said it wasn't.
No, that's absolutely right.
That's true.
Yes.
You know.
Jackie Antonoff needs to retire. It's kind of aggressive. Like he did produce Please, Please, Please.
Yeah.
One of the biggest hits. Like maybe he and Taylor, maybe their collaboration has run its course, but come on. He doesn't need to retire.
No, yeah. It's the opportunity to say nice. I make my own condensed albums all the time. I made a shorter one for Sabrina. It's called Shorter and Sweeter.
The Sabrina album's like what, 12 tracks?
How
short is your version?
Like, what did you cut? I want Taylor to return to the big bop bangers. I see Matt Steele loving Joker too. I think there's a lot to it, like admire and like in Joker too. Where's Adam Parnell?
Oh, great question.
Spain, we had our fair share of disaster this past week. What happened in Spain?
I heard there was flooding.
Oh no!
I don't know if that was this past week or previously, but I hope you are safe and sound. Do you think SNL is any good?
Yeah. I don't watch it.
I don't watch it religiously,
but when I see like a sketch people are sharing on Twitter or something, I'll like watch it and I'll go, funny.
Right.
I'm having a good time with this.
Matt P, are you excited? Well, Matt Steele watches Traitors too for the new season of Traitors. I'm excited to see Zac Efron's brother and Britney's ex-husband battle it out. It is strange who we're getting for Traitors these days.
Sure.
But I'm excited.
Whatever, as long as they provide entertainment. I mean, I'm excited for Danielle Reyes to be
yes.
on my screen. And Brittany from Big Brother too. She's fantastic.
I'm excited for Dorinda, but there aren't that many good housewives on this season. But I'm going to watch it. I think Taylor should step away from Jack for a bit. Binge watching Hacks to get through. Oh, Hacks is so great, and it gets better and better as the seasons go on. It's really, really great.
SNL has been surprisingly funnier lately.
Yeah, and everyone was talking. Every sketch I saw from the Ariana episode was funny.
Do either of you know anyone who went to Ithaca College? Not Ithaca College.
I don't know that I do.
I have a friend. One of my best friends went to Cornell, and Cornell's in Ithaca, right? Okay.
Yes?
I think so.
Okay.
Or it's like near Ithaca.
Do y'all think Olivia Rodrigo 3 is coming 2025? I do. Thoughts on Ariana and Katie not being nominated? Ariana was nominated, just not for like the big categories, I don't think, but she got nominated. Charlie hosting a musical guest SNL soon. That's true.
Didn't the guy Brian Stokes Mitchell hype up get an album?
Yes.
Yeah.
Brian.
He single-handedly did that.
Hello. I didn't know that he was a part of the PR team for Jacob Collier,
but
he was doing the rounds telling us who he loved. And I think it's great.
I'm so excited for a new season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh, yes. That comes out soon.
I feel like people are acting like Ari isn't nominated.
Yeah, exactly. She is nominated.
Steele, I know you don't watch shows, but you would love English Teacher. And I mean, it looks funny.
It is great.
Jack Antonoff was snubbed for Grammys this year. He was nominated for Producer of the Year and won the last 3 years. This year, not a single nomination. Interesting. Yeah, Cornell's and Ithaca. That's
I assume this year Dan Nigro is going to be the one to beat the Chapel Olivia producer.
Oh, sure.
What shows have y'all been watching? I mean, I did watch English Teacher. I'm caught up on Abbott Elementary. I love it. I'm trying to think of. I'm watching Great British Baking Show, which is what it's called in the U.S. Yeah. Am I the only person who didn't care for We Can't Be Friends? It's meh. The other two singles were better and nominated. I think, yeah, you're alone there. I also think, and you know I love Brandy and Monica. Like, I love the original The Boy Is Mine.
Yeah.
I think I'm, again, maybe being bitchy tonight. The Ariana remix of The Boy Is Mine with Brandy and Monica is a complete mess. It is so all over the place. The vocals sometimes make sense, sometimes don't. And it got nominated for, like, best... I don't know if it was remixed recording or like duo or group performance or whatever. Did she include that song in a remix of her, The Boys? Yes. Well, she included
this.
them.
She included them.
And we didn't react to it because I listened to part of it. I was like, oh no, this is.
Okay.
It just was like people were really.
I was about to say, like, fuck, did we react to this?
No. People were really coming for the Mariah remix of Yes and. But I found the Boy Is Mine remix to be more of a like scatter shot. It just was like a lot of cooks in the kitchen. Is what it felt like.
Fair.
Everybody stream Brandy and Monica, absolutely. Oh, it is a mess. Okay, thank you. I'm glad, Montana, that I'm not the only one who feels this way.
That's fine. That's okay. We had an idea. We tried it.
It's good to try
Sometimes
things.
when you try things and it doesn't work, you keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for Dan Nigro's profile to explode. His wheelhouse is definitely more in the pop rock sphere.
Yeah.
Who was your fave collaborator with Taylor, Jack, Aaron, Max?
I mean, probably Max, right?
I mean, anyone with Max is great.
Yeah, I mean,
like Max is, it's usually good.
Absolutely, usually good. Not always.
Well, not always with everyone. Not everyone is perfect.
No one's perfect.
No one's perfect. The Boys Mine remix gives the Charlie's Angels soundtrack. Are we buying Britney Spears jewelry from her new line when it drops, or are we saving the coins? I didn't know she was dropping new jewelry.
I saw that. I mean, I don't know that I need jewelry, but I'm sure there's a big audience for it. I forget, she told us what the name was on Instagram, but I forgot what it was. But I'm excited for her doing new things that she wants to do. Would you stand a Nigro, Billy, and Phineas collab if that happens? That'd be cool. I know Billy's probably, I assume, going to be working with different producers on her next album, just because she and her brother have done so many things together, I could imagine.
Already got Rob's in the big category. Eternal Sunshine should have been for Album of the Year. Mm-hmm. I would have been happy if it was Album of the Year nomination.
I like Taylor with Nathan Chapman. That was like early albums, like on Fearless and
Speak Now
and stuff. Matt P, you've been watching House of Villains too. I've not. I'm curious about it, but I didn't watch the first season. But it's like, of course, you want to see New York and like Teresa interact, but I don't know. I just have not haven't dived in. Haven't.
Bitch, I don't fucking know.
No, not today.
Not today. We can say whatever.
We really can.
Literally, like, I tried telling a story today to one of my customers at work.
Yeah.
It came out mumbo jumbo. Like, I truly, words don't work.
How could it not?
And I guess I need to get better at that because this is my job, like talking into a microphone.
No, we're still coming back, right? We're still coming back from what was.
Yes.
And moving towards
what can be.
Yes.
I could see California becoming a swing state in the future. I don't
foresee that.
I don't foresee that. I feel like Album of the Year should still cover more genres because only one album will win Best Pop. I know I'm probably alone in this.
Should cover. Oh, you're saying like the nominees should be from different genres? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense, but pop is kind of the most popular.
Right.
So it kind of makes sense that there's more pop.
Rumors are saying Taylor Swift and Darkchild are working together. To quote Mariah when asked if she would collaborate with Jennifer Lopez, I don't know how that would sound. I really don't. And hey,
try it.
Try it. Darkchild did Say My Name. And he wasn't man enough.
Of course. I have no doubt.
Right.
There would be talent involved.
Yes, exactly.
But if we try it and it doesn't come out well, it doesn't need to come out.
I love that. That's always your like message for Taylor.
Yeah, like If it's just okay, doesn't need to.
We don't need to hear it.
We don't need to hear it.
Yeah. Because so much of your stuff is so great.
You're not like destroying the world by releasing a just okay song. Obviously, there's bigger fish to fry in the grand scheme of things, but relax. Say, I'm happy I tried that.
Yeah.
But I have a strange pet peeve, and it's terrible bad singing. Example, Ariana Espresso. What?
Oh, when she was on an SNL sketch where she was like singing Espresso as a part of like a wedding party, and she's supposed to be like a bad singer, but like she sounded bad. I don't know how. It's hard. I mean, not to be one of those people, but as someone who sings well, it's hard to pretend you sing badly.
Pretending to sing bad is like
hard.
a very hard thing to do.
Is.
Like as an actor,
right?
You know, because like when you're a good singer, your instinct is just like, oh, well, I'm singing a song,
right?
You naturally are able to match pitch at least.
Exactly.
So not matching pitch and having it sound natural is because the natural thing to do is to match the pitch.
Right. What's your favorite Britney album? I don't like Blackout, although those are a lot of people's faves. Blackout.
Blackout.
I mean, I love In the Zone and I love Glory, but Blackout.
It's Blackout. I'm sorry, but you know, it's okay. What's your thoughts on Katy Perry? Do you think she can be redeemed? Why not? I believe
it's over for her, but that's fine.
I believe
that's fine.
Get never really over.
But she had one.
She did have one.
I think it's okay. Like, we shouldn't be requesting our pop stars to have the longevity of Beyonce.
Career.
She had a phenomenal career, and she'll always put out music. She'll always go on tour. She'll always have audience. It's just she doesn't need to have like a brand new hit song. That's okay. Yeah. You know what you guys should do? I like that Christmas song that she put out. I wish I could remember what it was called, but it used to be an Amazon exclusive, and now it's everywhere. Cozy Little Christmas.
Okay.
I think that maybe we should make that a hit for her. I think that could happen.
Are you telling her to like resign herself to Christmas music?
Not resign. People don't get resigned to Christmas music. But I'm saying she has put out something that could become a hit over the years. Okay. I think that's probably her best bet at this point.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Should we start?
Please.
Okay.
Please.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
Steele
guys.
is not wanting to be here.
Love you all. Hi, guys. Welcome to Two Gay Mats, a political podcast.
I mean, only at the beginning, because we're going to move on to talk about other things.
Because we look forward to the future.
Yes.
And so we won't dwell.
No.
We might dwell.
We're going to discuss. I feel like we're all recovering from
the moment.
A terrible moment in many of our lives. But we're all in this together. Yes. There are lots of people watching us live. If you're listening to this in your car, know that we are with you.
Yes.
And we're all getting through it together.
Okay, let's
get started.
Jesus, let's go.
Let's go. Okay. Summary viewer getting an ad. I mean, it's good to get our rants out. Yes, it's true. It's true. So some of you are going to get an ad right now. Some of you aren't.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube Premium or something, you won't get that ad.
My husband.
You're laughing, but.
You gotta do what you gotta do. We're not gonna tell you what to do.
No way. I mean, we would never do
We have been getting a lot of email my hearts that have been like, give me personal life advice. And those are sometimes a little stressful because it's like, well, I don't know. But we can't tell you what to do.
We can't tell you what to do.
We can't tell you what to do.
About that.
Wish you the best.
Right. Okay. Do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
Oh, you fucking...
Get the emails ready because we're going to talk about this up top. We're not talking about this again.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Two Gay Mats. It's Matt Palmer.
And it's Matt Steele.
And this is usually the part of the podcast where I ask, how are you doing? How was your week? But I'm pretty sure I know the answer to that this week. Not well, bitch.
I'm not doing well.
Okay, so
yeah.
Tell me what your Tuesday night was like.
Okay, I woke up, I went to vote around noon. It was very nice. It was a very pleasant voting experience. It always is because I love contributing to democracy.
Yes.
And I love like voting day of.
You do love that.
Because I make it an event. I love the little machine that like spits out my ballot so I can check it and then sucks it back in. It's really cool. It's really fun. And then I got a big old boba and I was like, I'm ready to sit down on my couch. And immediately when I sat down on my couch and the returns like started, like literally like when Indiana and Kentucky were called, I was like, oh no.
Really?
I
you
immediately
had a
knew.
feeling.
I had a feeling. My roommate Travis, I know, was watching the returns with his parents at his parents' house. So I knew I was going to be by myself yet again.
All by myself.
And so I just kept watching and watching. And the entire time I kind of just knew this isn't going to go well. I for some reason, I just like felt it in my bones. And so I just continue to watch. And I mean, literally like 4 hours felt like 12. I like when you're by yourself watching horrible things happen on the news, the time just stops. And, I had no idea who to text. I had no, like a couple random people were texting me, but I was just like, I want to talk about this, but yet I don't want to talk about this. Like I just remember sitting there, and then around 11 o'clock, Travis came home with pizza.
That's
and
nice.
He said, and the entire time I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, I will never eat again. Like, I'm sick to my stomach. I have no appetite. I will never have an appetite ever again in my entire life. But the second Travis said, do you want pizza? I was like, fuck yes. And I ate so much pizza that night, and it felt so good.
You deserved that.
And
pizza.
then we watched someone give their incoherent babbling speech where they just made a complete ass of themselves. And it was completely embarrassing and completely mortifying. And I was just very sad. And then I was like, oh no, tomorrow's going to be horrible. It's going to be terrible. I woke up and I was like, this is terrible. I'm very, very sad, but it's a different terrible than what 2016 was like. 2016, because it's the sheer shock of 2016 was just numbing.
Yeah.
Like that. So 2016, I feel like was harder for me.
Okay.
But still, I was brought back to like how I felt in 2016. But I will say, going online and seeing all the things, like, everything everyone was saying on Twitter and Facebook and blah, 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 blah. It was a little different from 2016 because while there were people coming in with their overanalyzing and all that kind of stuff, it was different from 2016 in the sense that I feel like there was much less vitriol amongst like our,
the Democrats,
the people on like on our side.
left, yeah.
There was less like finger pointing and screaming at each other. It was more just sort of like we are uniformly sad together. And then as time went on, it was kind of just like, okay, this has happened before. We just need to come up with a plan on what to do next and work together. And it's less of like a shock, panic, what do we do? And more of like we are all sad together.
Yeah.
We will try our best to come up with things to do, and hopefully all that works out.
Right.
So what was your night like, Matt Palmer?
Well, I finished work around 5 or 6 p.m. and I was like, okay, I like to go on my walks.
Yes.
And so I was like, I'm going to go on my walk. And I saw, I think in the Discord, which by the way, not to just promote our Patreon, being on the Discord during this evening was so like affirming, because even though we all were like truly going through it, it was like, oh, here's a corner of the internet where everyone is kind to each other. We're all just trying to support each other through this horrible, like traumatic event that we were all bearing witness to. It just felt like the safest space. And so I was glad that if I was going to be consuming any internet, that it was our Discord, which if you want to become a patron, go to patreon.com/2gaymats, join the Discord. And when shit like this happens, you'll find a soft place to land.
Yeah.
Anyways, I had seen online or on the Discord somewhere that like, oh, if you download the Apple News app, it'll like have a widget on your phone, which will just like the electoral votes will pop up when the Associated Press calls them. And so and I was like, okay, great. So while I go on my walk, I can see how things are happening. I'm going to listen back to, some political podcasts that like I had missed their episodes. And I just wanted to be like, hearing some positivity, hearing about like what's happening tonight, because even as I began the walk, I was like, the numbers don't look good to me. I realize it all, like maybe we're going to be like, oh, is it the Red Mirage? We're all starting. And like things will turn, but it just didn't feel as good. So I was on my walk listening to these podcasts. The numbers kept changing. They did not change in the way I wanted to see them. And so I got back home, post walk, I took my shower, I got dressed. And by the time I got dressed and Jackson had made dinner, we sat down to it. It was about 8 or 9. And so at that point,
At that point, I was spiraling on. I was gone.
At that point, I had seen the app well enough to be like, oh, this I can't do. Like, I can't. He was like, maybe we're just going to watch it on TV. We'll do this, whatever. And I was like, I would rather we watch that show with Adam Brody and Kristen Bell, which, We Love Everyone is very fun. Y'all are like, oh, it's so romantic, their chemistry. But, with something, it's a very, Nobody Wants This, I believe is what it's called. It's very much just like smooth brain show. These people are like, having trouble getting together. Will they do it? Won't they do it? We watched 2 episodes of that. By 10 p.m., I look down at those numbers again. It's like, I'm off to bed. I can't. And when a lot of people get depressed and do a lot of different things, my move whenever getting sad has always been, and I don't think it's healthy.
No.
But it's also not the least healthy thing thing I could do. And I was like, I'm going to bed. Yeah. This has been my move since I was a teen. It was like, if I'm overcome with
even
emotion,
overwhelm in a good way. Even when good things are happening, you're just like, I need to go to bed. And I'm like, wait.
I need to go to bed. And so I went to bed. I woke up, I believe, around 2 a.m. Went to the guest room as to not disturb Jackson. It was up until 4 or 5, just like
doom scrolling. Yeah, I knew things were bad when it's like, I was mostly watching CNN, and when it was just them being like, okay, she's ahead in this county in Pennsylvania. She's at 78% or whatever, but let's see how Biden did in this county in 2020. And it was like, oh, at this time, last year, he was at 80% and not 78. So it was just like, while she may be winning the county, it was never as much as what 2020 was. We would later come to find out that just the voting in general was not as many people, voted in general as 2020. And, there are a trillion different, reasons why people are saying, everyone has their hot take as to what happened and all that kind of stuff. And it's exhausting to sort of sift through the last several days to see what everyone has to say. I'm completely exhausted by it. And, the most frustrating thing for me are the sort of the people who are trying to say, it's like, okay, if you voted based on policy positions, whatever, you voted for XYZ reasons, it's like, fine, vote however you want to vote. I don't care. I mean, I do care, but it's your right, I guess. Yes. But do not tell me that she did not run a policy-based campaign. Do not tell me, because she was talking about the economy nonstop.
Right.
Non-fucking stop. She do not, whenever people go on television and they say the only thing she had to run on was that she wasn't Donald Trump. No, you just weren't paying the fuck attention, because this campaign was very specifically about policy. And I imagine these people who are saying, oh, all she ran on was that she wasn't Donald Trump. Right. It's like, maybe that's all you're specifically hearing, because maybe deep down, that her not being Donald Trump is also a really great fucking reason.
Truly.
So that is what you're hyper focused on. But this campaign that she ran, which I thought was very good, especially for it being only 107 days long, I thought was very good.
I completely agree.
No campaign is ever going to be perfect.
Yes.
But for it being as short as it was, I think it was very good. I think marks were well hit.
Right.
And it was very inspiring, and I think she was a wonderful candidate.
Yes.
And so do not try to tell me that it wasn't. And the thing is, the policies she proposed and everything were detailed enough where it was like, these are policies, but the thing is, people were like, well, we didn't know enough about it. We didn't know enough. But it's like, okay, yeah, you can always explain more and more and more.
Right.
But tell me what policies the other motherfucker had.
I know.
Tell me what policies.
And
it was just a fear, that whole, the Trump campaign was all just fear mongering, literally saying your kids are going to go to school and come back with a fucking surgery.
What are you talking about?
What are you fucking talking about? And people are like, oh, all she's doing is bringing up social issues. It's like, no, she's not. She's talking about the economy. She's talking about the abortion issue, which is a health issue.
Absolutely.
She is talking about all of that. So the social issues, that was very 2016 and the 2019 and 2020 Democratic primary. That was when all that was being discussed. But they made a point in this campaign this year to not really focus on that stuff. So do not tell me that it wasn't a policy run campaign, like based campaign, because it fucking was.
And to me, it's like, if you look worldwide, which like I've been listening to my podcast about this, like this is what happened. How did this happen? How did we get here? Like the incumbent administration across the globe has been getting voted out of office very recently because people are like, well, everything post-COVID, there's been so much inflation, like things are more expensive, like things were easier back in 2016, 2017, 2018. But it's like, remember how we had a worldwide pandemic?
Yes.
Like, how is Kamala, like the headwinds of that, like how is Kamala in 107 days or whatever it was, supposed to completely combat that with people? But to me, it's so hard for me to wrap my head around, because even if you are so short-sighted to just think, oh, inflation has gotten to the point and my like wage has not like matched along with it, so my life is harder now. Even if, like, conceptually...
Also, FYI, guys, inflation is down to where it was before COVID.
Exactly.
Because of the Inflation Reduction Act by Joe Biden. Thank you, Joe.
So even if that were true, like, the idea that what Trump is going to do, the policy that you could read about that is going to affect you personally...
The one policy he had a specific for, the tariffs and all this stuff.
Tariffs.
Which every, like, economic expert said would be a disaster.
Yes, that this is going to ruin our economy. And it's just like... the fact that you could see, apparently there are Google Trends of like, what is a tariff, has gone up like 1,000,000,000% since Tuesday, because people like literally didn't know what they were voting for. And the idea that even if that were true, that like the economy was better, and it wasn't, and like whatever, if that were true, if this is like, could you still... like the amount of like holding your nose you would have to do, the oversight, like the idea that you are bypassing racism, transphobia, women's reproductive rights, just so you can be like, oh, the economy feels better to me and like it's going to be back to 2017, even though there's been a fucking worldwide pandemic. Like, I will never be able to see eye to eye with that person. And I appreciate that they exist. And like, I hope the Democrats can reach them. I can't reach them, because that to me, I think there's such a mismatch in like morality. Like, you look at Donald Trump and he has no moral center. You have no idea what he's going to do, because there's no core there. There's nothing in his heart that's like, do this. This is the right way to live and the right way to govern. He doesn't have that about him. Like, everything I heard about that rambling ass speech at the end was just him shouting random horrible men out. And it's like, this is who we put in charge of our country again?
Yes. And it's just like, people just want to hear what they want to hear. They say that they want to hear about policy details. They don't. They literally just want to hear someone say, I can fix it. And like, that's all they want to hear. Once they hear details, like their brains turn off and they're just like, what is it? It's like, and look, I am in a position where I am a single man. I do not have to take care of a kid.
Sure.
I am nowhere near the thought, like in the thought process of attempting to buy a house.
Right.
Like that, I'm like, oh, that'll be for my 50s. So, you know, when it comes to like the prices of stuff, I will admit I'm not thinking about that as much, but that's because my life is different. I am an artist. I've resigned myself to a life of struggling, you know? So like, and so I get it if your life is something different. I totally respect that and everything. But if you know that, you know, prices are still a little too high for like basic needs and everything, wouldn't you want to vote for the candidate that actually had a policy in place for that? The candidate who said, you know what, the economy's doing really well, but inflation has gone down so much, but prices are still too high. And that is because corporations are taking advantage of what was almost a giant recession, the recession that didn't fucking happen. Thank you, Joe Biden. And corporations were taking advantage of that, so there was price gouging. So I have a plan to like try to alleviate and limit what like price gouging can happen. That's an actual plan.
Yeah,
I can fix it is not a fucking plan.
Right. And, you know, we all know we're probably, if you're listening to this podcast called Two Gay Mats, we were probably preaching to the choir. I understand that. But we just had to get this off our chest because, yes, we're upset. Yes, we're hurt. I listened to so many podcasts that, like, because truly it was going through a stages of grief, it felt like to me this week. Because it was like, okay, I am grieving the idea of what our country was about to be because people are just... It just, to me, at the end of the day, felt like a lot of selfishness. Like, you're really not thinking about your fellow man, woman, LGBT neighbor, trans neighbor. Like, you're really throwing a lot of fucking people under the bus for this, like, mirage of what you think life could be, that you're bettering yourself. But I now, going into next year, I'm going to try to find the balance of like, okay, I want to be engaged. I want to know when he does horrible things and be able to fight against them, sign petitions, do whatever I need to do. But I will not watch this man speak. I will not like see his face in a way that I'm willing to. Like it is not, so it's like a special line of walking, of being like, I'm engaged, but I can't let this person drag me down and like the people I care about. Like everyone's saying, focus on your communities, focus on the people you know and love, invest into them. And of course I will not completely disengage, absolutely. But like now it feels like being a joyful like Black person, being a joyful queer person, it's like an act of rebellion because these people have so overwhelmingly stated that they don't think that you deserve to be here, that you deserve a happy life, that you deserve joy. And fuck, I might not be this week, but I'm going to be fucking joyful. I'm not spending 4 years depressed about this man. I'm going to engage as much as I can, fight against him in every way that I can, but I just can't. I can't let this weigh me down. You know what I mean? Like I just like it feels like the joy is the part of the resistance for me. And I just hate
that's good.
that this is where we are.
Yes, and I feel like that's kind of the consensus of a lot of people. It's kind of just like, you know what? We have to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and do whatever we can do. Yeah. And so, do we talk about the emails that we got?
We could just shout out the people who sent us emails because two of the emails that we got this week were about the election and like how we're dealing with it, how we're coping with it. So this is how we are doing exactly that.
Yeah, Lily. Yeah. So Lily emailed us and was essentially just like, "How are y'all doing? How are you preparing yourself mentally? Where do you think things went? And asked, where do you think things went wrong for Democrats? What should we be doing in 2028 to ensure this doesn't happen again?" And I'm just gonna say what I think more podcasters and people online who are not experts should say. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the answer is.
Right.
I don't know what happened. I'm sure everyone's coming in with their hot takes of what went wrong and everything. And I'm sure there is like a little bit of truth to each individual thing because I'm sure you talk to one person and they have one reason for voting how they did, but then you talk to another person and they have a reason for voting how they did that completely contradicts what the other person said.
Right.
You know, so there is not one answer. It's just like a whole lot of tiny little answers that play a minuscule part in all of this. It's utterly exhausting, like watching the people like sort of analyze that. Another very nice email sent to us from
I just want to say one thing is we said it in our rants, but I truly don't believe Kamala did so much wrong. Like I think for the time she had allotted, she did a really brilliant job as our candidate. I think the incumbency bias, like there's no way if she's currently the vice president that she can completely disavow Joe Biden. And if people are upset with him, if he's like doesn't have the approval ratings he needed to have, if post COVID there was inflation that's under control now. It's just she had a lot of headwinds that were flying against her. It's not like everything she did. Like she didn't. I don't know. I think she did a beautiful job, and I still applaud her for that.
And the thing that I'm sure she was very frustrated by was you want to, as the vice president of the current administration, tout your accomplishments. Like a recession that everyone thought would happen didn't happen because of our administration and all that kind of stuff. Like you want to tout the accomplishments, but yet you also, when, people, have whatever problems they're having with, affordability of different products and everything, you don't want to like say to them, like, things aren't that bad, but then when you say like, this is a problem and we'll fix it, then people are also complaining like, but why didn't she tout the accomplishments? It's like, it's a lose-lose situation. Also, I wonder if this day and age, like we are as a society in a point where our attention spans are so short and we are fueled by anger and all that kind of stuff. We're just fueled by negativity so much that I feel like it might likely be very difficult for one administration to hold 2 terms in a row. Like I imagine, and people are so excited by the idea of change, or the idea of sticking it to the man, that they vote for that concept of like sticking it to the man or getting revenge with your vote or something like that.
Right.
So I wonder like if from now on, like it will really be like every president's going to be serving one term, one term.
I mean, we'll see. I do think this was a special, like a very unique situation
because of
post-COVID, you know?
Well, true.
So I will see how it all goes in the future. But just like in general, yes, there are things to critique about Kamala's campaign, but for the amount of time she was allotted, I think she did a lot of good.
Yes.
Right?
And the coalition she built that was full of Democrats, Republicans, like huge Republican names like the fucking Cheneys, and independents. Like, she built a very, very diverse coalition. And that's honestly what a president is there to do, is to bring people with all different beliefs together to unite behind the fucking Constitution of the United States. Right. And I just want to give a shout out to A, who like emailed us with a very, very like lovely email that was very, very heartfelt. And they also asked, like, what do we tell our young children, young girls, children that aren't white? And it's be a good example. Like, I don't know if there's anything we can really tell them other than like we can, teach them through doing, by being good people, by exposing them to like various different things and people and beliefs and everything, and showing them the good that's in the world.
Right.
And then they will be hopefully like follow in those footsteps.
And know that there are so many people out there who are fighting for you, who are fighting for your rights. Even though this election did not go the way that we wanted it to, these people all still exist, and we're still going to there are people dedicating their lives for these things, these causes that are going to positively impact your life in the future. You are absolutely valuable, absolutely valid. Just because things did not go our way this time does not mean that like the fight wasn't worth it and that the fight will not continue. Yeah. So
yeah. And as I've gotten older, I've gone, how they say, like, as you get older, you become more conservative.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened to me. I will not say, I will say I'm pretty still, a Democrat.
Absolutely.
But as I've gotten older, I've experienced like trying to organize different things, whether it's like organize a birthday party, organize like producing a movie or something like that. And so like, I think it's just as you get older, you see how, much work it is to collaborate with a lot of people.
Right.
And so I've really like grown to respect the people who put themselves out there and really try to, be a part of those collaborations and put in the work to try to achieve any sort of little progress that they can, even if it's not like the exact degree that I want it to be. I appreciate the people who are still like trying and are able to incrementally do whatever progress they can.
Right.
So and y'all know I stan Hillary. Y'all know I talked about how much I love Joe on this podcast and everything. And obviously we both love Kamala so much. But they're just people. They're not miracle workers. And so human beings who are, flawed or may sometimes get some things wrong, the fact that they are out there trying their best, I have nothing but appreciation for.
Absolutely. Oh, should we go on? Should we go on? Grammy nominations.
Guys, the really important news of the week.
The thing that's really
the real robberies of the week, ladies and gentlemen.
Grammy nominations were announced. They are, all of our pop girls that we talk about here every single week really were represented for the most part. Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Most of them.
A good number of them.
Yeah. And so of the people not nominated, I guess Dua Lipa wasn't nominated.
She wasn't. No, and like that's a good album.
It is a good album.
And like Houdini's fucking great.
I know.
Like Training Season's great. Like it's a good album. I don't know.
It's one of those things that like when you are not the top of the charts like you were in your last era, sometimes people think of you as, maybe not being as successful as you should be, XYZ, but it did feel like a snub. Ariana only got 3 nominations, no nominations in like the big categories, no Song of the Year, Album of the Year, Record of the Year. And we are people who love We Can't Be Friends.
Listen, that to me is the biggest snub.
I agree.
We Can't Be Friends, not in like record or song, whatever, but the fact that We Can't Be Friends did not get in for pop vocal song.
Yeah, pop vocal, pop solo performance.
Pop solo performance. That's I always forget what the hell that category. But like pop solo, the fact that We Can't Be Friends did not make it in there, I find egregious.
Yes.
Because that is top 2 songs of the year for me.
Right.
That song is so excellent.
Yes.
And it was a big hit.
It was a big hit.
So that was the most shocking.
Right. And I get, like, we want to award. I think it's exciting. The Grammys are excited about Sabrina Carpenter and Chappell Roan. They got those nominations.
And Charlie XCX,
And Charlie
Brat
XCX.
Album of the Year nomination. Like,
Wild.
She did well.
I agree, but I do feel like the We Can't Be Friends is the biggest oversight in these categories for me. But okay, let's go through just a couple of the categories.
Okay.
And let me know who you would pick or who you think is going to win.
Beyonce.
Okay, all right.
I pick Beyonce.
Best Pop Vocal Album, Eternal Sunshine, Ariana Grande. Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft. Chappell Roan, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. Sabrina Carpenter, Short and Sweet. Taylor Swift, The Tortured Poets Department.
I think Billie's winning this.
You think Billie's winning?
Because I feel like I'm kind of worried that like Sabrina and Chappell will cancel each other out a little bit because they're the 2 new, even though Sabrina's on her 6th album, whatever.
Of course. Best new artist.
Best new artist nominee, Sabrina Carpenter.
Yes.
I think, but they're the 2 like newbies,
Yes.
that like people are really excited about. So I wonder if they will split each other's vote, like cancel each other's votes out. And Billie Eilish is like, the critically acclaimed album. Like the Grammys love Billie Eilish, with reason, because she's great.
Yes.
So I think Hit Me Hard and Soft is kind of like the safest choice as far as these nominees.
I could see that. I feel like it would be between Hit Me Hard and Soft and Short and Sweet for me.
Okay.
I think album-wise, they're just very, very strong. Eternal Sunshine is very strong too, but it seems like since y'all only nominated her 3 times.
Yeah, do the Grammys love this Eternal Sunshine album?
It seems like they might not.
I mean, I think it's a great nominee. I think
I
it was a very good
know.
album. I think it's my second favorite Ariana album.
It's next to and near Dangerous
You
Woman.
love Dangerous
I
Woman.
love Dangerous Woman, but
Yeah.
of course, Thank You Next
Yeah,
is her best, which
that goes without saying.
did not win any Grammys.
That's
Reminder.
true. Because of who? Billie Eilish.
Because of Billie Eilish.
So
True.
I think Hit Me Hard and Soft has this.
For Best New Artist, it's Benson Boone, Doechii, Chappell Roan. I don't know how to say this person's name. Kurangbin. I apologize by that pronunciation if it's incorrect. Ray, who my mom
Ray
loves
is great
and is very talented. Sabrina Carpenter, Shabuzi, and Teddy Swims.
I think, and we've talked about this a little on the podcast.
Yeah.
I think obviously it's between Sabrina and Chappell. Although Ray should be in contention. I mean, I
Absolutely
truly
she
don't
should.
know the other people, so
Right.
I'm sure they're very nice as well. But I could see Chappell getting this over Sabrina just because in terms of what they kind of each brought to the table, I think Sabrina brought like I think people were more excited about her specific songs.
Yes.
Whereas Chappell, people were a little more excited about this new daring artist who was really putting herself out there and doing like really interesting things as an artist as a whole. So I feel like best new artist, I think Chappell has the edge over Sabrina.
I agree. I think for both Should and who I would pick, I would say Chappell right now. I, again, could have not given all of these artists a big spin, so who's to say? But as of what I know now, I think this is Chappell's to lose. Song of the Year, which by the way, if people are confused about Song of the Year versus Record of the Year, Song of the Year is just about the songwriting, basically the song on paper, lyrics, melody, chord progression. It's about, obviously the winners of this are the songwriters of these songs. Nominees are Beyonce's Texas Hold'em, Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish, Chappell Roan, Good Luck Babe, Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, Die With a Smile, Sabrina Carpenter, Please Please Please, Shabuzi, A Bar Song, Tipsy, and then Taylor Swift, Fortnite. For me, I would personally say Good Luck Babe. I think when you get to that bridge, that is like so impactful. It's such like the song completely takes off, and like the storytelling of the song is such a specific point of view that we don't hear on pop radio very often. I think even though she has Hot to Go, she has Pink Pony Club, this was the big radio hit for her. And songwriting wise, I think it's just exceptional.
It's a fantastic song because like then when you keep listening to it, it's like a very like complex song.
Absolutely.
I feel like lyrically and I think melodically it's very interesting and beautiful. So I would love for Good Luck Babe to win. I would say out of all of them, this feels like the one I would vote for Song of the Year. However, I have a very, very strong suspicion that Die With a Smile is winning. Bruno Mars does not lose Grammys. It's the newest song out of all of these nominations, like all these nominees.
Yeah.
They love a duet with some classic people like Bruno and Lady Gaga, So, and it's. I feel like Die With a Smile is going to win Song of the Year.
Look, and I don't dislike Die With a Smile.
No, nothing wrong with it.
But
let's get real.
And he's not lost a Grammy nomination since 2014.
Yes.
So I get it. I think it would be wild to
would
me.
be wild.
I would be fine with. I think most likely for like if any of these won, I'd be fine. Good Luck Babe, Birds of a Feather, Not Like Us. I think if any of those 3 songs won, there's an argument for them being huge. Even though Birds of a Feather was kind of like less splashy, because it's like we all know Billie, we all know she's excellent. Like, and there wasn't like a big controversy about Drake attached to it.
Yeah.
But there are arguments for all 3 of those songs truly being Song of the Year. I think Die with a Smile would be unfortunate.
Well,
I don't dislike the song.
No,
I don't.
It's a perfectly nice
very
song.
fine.
It's a very good song. But like,
they both
out
have
of all
better.
these great nominees,
No.
it would be unfortunate.
Record of the Year.
Record of the Year. This is for like production, vocal performance.
The song on-
basically the song of the year.
Yes, the song on record, not like the songwriting, but the song itself, how it all turned out. We have the Beatles Now and Then, which is the Beatles featuring AI.
Yes. The fact that we're nominating this, go fuck
know.
yourselves.
I didn't
like
say
what
that.
a slap in the fucking face to people working in the fucking music industry. And I am not, a person working in the music industry.
In fairness, they did just use the AI to clean up some of the vocals. That's what the Beatles fans have told me.
I thought like it was a whole.
No.
Oh, well then why isn't it nominated for like Song of the Year?
I mean, something that's more notable is it's not very good. Like, I'm sorry, the Beatles fans are gonna come for me, I'm sure, but yeah, it's just like it was a B-side in the 60s or whatever for a reason. Like, this isn't like, I'm glad the Beatles fans are happy.
Sure.
But
the thing is, like, if AI is the ones that like polished the vocals and everything, like AI was part of like producer, like who's winning this Grammy? Who's gonna walk up on fucking stage?
I guess Paul, Ringo, and a computer.
Sure.
I think the 3 of them. Beyonce, Texas Hold'em, Billie Eilish, Birds of a Feather, Chappell Roan, Good Luck Babe, Charlie XCX 360.
That's an inspired nomination. I like that.
That is a great nomination.
It's a great song.
Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, Sabrina Carpenter, Espresso, Taylor Swift, Fortnite. For me, I would say either Not Like Us or Espresso, maybe Espresso.
I mean, that's what I've always been saying. It's like I could see Chappell winning Best New Artist and Espresso winning Record of the Year.
Yeah.
I think it would be a great winner of Record of the Year. It was such a big song.
Yes.
But Not Like Us also like had a whole shebang behind it.
Absolutely.
It was a very big deal. So I could see that winning. I think that would be very fun.
He's prepping to do the Super Bowl halftime show right around the time of these Grammys. So
that is true.
We love synergy. Yeah. And then the largest category of the night, which by the way, the Grammys needs to make sure this is the last category given out every year.
Because it's the most important.
It's the most important. Album of the Year, Andre 3000, New Blue Sun, which I haven't listened to, but I think is a flute clarinet album or something. Like it's
we love flutes.
We love flutes.
We love Lizzo. I played the flute in like 4th, 5th grade and all throughout middle school. I played the flute and the piccolo. I sure did.
Did you move to the violin after that? Or?
No, I always played the violin and the flute. But then in high school, I had to make a decision. Or no, in 8th grade, I had to make a decision whether because then like. Because band and orchestra, you would get pulled out of class to do it. But then in 8th grade, it became an actual class, like a period of the day. So I had to choose between orchestra with violin or band with flute. And I picked violin because I was better at it.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'd still love to hear it.
I don't know. My flute's in Jersey.
No, the violin.
Oh, well, no.
Well, something to think about is that people want to hear that.
Well, if Kamala Harris had won, I would have brought out my violin and played for everyone, but...
If only. Beyonce, Cowboy Carter, Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, Chappell Roan, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, Charlie XCX Brett, Jacob Collier, D. Jesse, Volume 4, and Jacob Collier, Brian Stokes Mitchell's best friend.
Brian Stokes Mitchell, who was on our podcast.
Yes.
He talked all about Jacob Collier, how he loves it. So Brian Stokes Mitchell had a great day Grammy morning.
His finger was on the pulse.
I know.
Also, Sabrina Carpenter, Short and Sweet, Taylor Swift, The Tortured Poets Department. To me, I think it's between Cowboy Carter and Hit Me Hard and Soft for me. I could see a world in which Brat wins it, but I just don't know if like the Grammy brass is going to hear all these albums and resonate the most with Brat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I listen. We're always rooting for Beyonce.
Of course.
But at this point, we also know that Beyonce gets robbed often. So then it becomes a question of, okay, which album is going to beat Beyonce, which is a very devastating conversation to have. I could see them just sort of being like, again, Hit Me Hard and Soft feels like the safe choice to be the one to win. But it's like, again, they love Billie Eilish, but like, you're going to give her Album of the Year twice? I mean, they give it to Taylor 4 times. So who knows? But Brad winning Album of the Year, even though I'm personally rooting for Cowboy Carter, by Beyonce. But if Brat won Album of the Year, that would be a fucking inspired choice. And even though it wouldn't personally get my vote, even though I love so many songs on Brat and the vibe of Brat and everything, I would just, the thrill of it all would kind of be like, you better work, Grammys.
Right.
Like, this was something exciting.
I want it to be Cowboy Carter. Is it my like number one Beyonce album ever? No. I'd say it's top 4 of my favorite Beyonce albums, but it's not my favorite. But the thing is, she's always nominated for this. She is making the biggest swing with this record. It's so expansive. I could absolutely see the Grammys really understanding its brilliance in a way that clearly they did not understand Renaissance's brilliance, which is I'll never get over. But even though it would not be her best album, I still think Beyonce deserves this award. And if it's for this album, I'd be like, great. Yeah. I think if Hit Me Hard and Soft won, I would not be surprised.
Devastated. It's a great album.
The other albums that I've heard, I would not give this award to. But who knows? Maybe Jacob Collier's is great.
I mean, my 13-track playlist of Tortured Poets Department is fucking unbelievable.
Yes.
The 31-track album, I don't know if the Grammy voters would be totally on
And it's
board
like, I don't even know if they're judging the 31-track album or just the first.
Just the first half.
The first half.
Whatever. Who knows what that album is, guys? I don't know. Yeah, I really, the thing with Cowboy Carter, and I've said it before, even though I don't think her like most polished, perfect album, I feel like that is Renaissance. I feel like that is like B-Day. Like I feel like those where it's just like, you can't skip a second of this. But Cowboy Carter, like Lemonade, I feel like the ambition of Cowboy Carter is so brilliant and unique and exciting. And even if there are moments on Cowboy Carter where I'm just like, did we really need,
spaghetti?
Buckin? Did we really need Buckin here? I'm still just like, but you listen to the whole thing and you're just like, wow, what a project of work. I know.
So, and honestly, she wouldn't be the first person given an award for their fucking career.
My God.
People give Oscars to actors and actresses who just deserved Oscars a lot of times prior. And like, if that's what we need to do for Beyonce here, for an album as good as Cowboy Carter, I'll take it.
Yes, and even if I don't find it a flawless album, out of all those nominees, it's still my favorite.
I would say the same.
My personal favorite. It's the one I've listened to the most out of all of them.
Right.
But I think it's a good batch of nominees. I think it's been a great year for music.
Yes.
If you watched Two McGay Mats, you would know.
It's true, you would know.
We think it's been a good year for music.
Also appreciate the fact that I just hope the awards, the winners I hope no one sweeps. Like, this doesn't feel like a year where someone should sweep.
Spread the wealth.
The nominations were so good and inspired. I would hate for the awards themselves to be boring and or wrong.
Okay. Yeah. Did Normani get any?
I don't know that she did.
Insomnia is like one of my like top 10 favorite songs.
I was just listening to that.
Insomnia is so good.
It's great.
Dopamine's great, Normani. Be proud of yourself.
Yes, justice for Dopamine. I hate to talk about this person again, but Nicole Scherzinger. What are you doing? Because, all right, if no one knows who this is, which you might not because she's not that famous, because the only people keeping her alive were gay people like ourselves. Nicole Scherzinger is the lead singer of the Pussycat Dolls. She is now having a rousing turn as Norma Desmond in the Sunset Boulevard that's currently on Broadway. I was literally listening to the soundtrack, the cast recording of Sunset Boulevard, as it came out that she had commented on Russell Brand, who is an alleged sexual assaulter. He, after that horrible man won, put a hat up that was basically a MAGA hat, but it was like, make Jesus first again, I believe is what it said. And I saw that Nicole Scherzinger commented, where do I get this hat? This comment has since been deleted, but it took her about a day. And look, girl.
And then didn't another?
Oh, yes, because the thing is, she has since apologized, and I knew she would do this, where she kind of apologized. It's kind of a mealy-mouthed apology in which she's like, I come from a place of love. My religion's important to me. That's all wonderful. Fine. We love that for you. She apologized for any hurt caused by her recent engagement with some social media posts. When I commented on these posts, I made the mistake of not realizing that they could easily be interpreted as being politically related, and I apologize to anyone understandably who reached that conclusion. There's no way to take a MAGA hat and say it's not political. Like, I don't care if the words are a little different. It's still a MAGA hat. But even if we're going to give her that benefit of the doubt, also the apology goes on. She doesn't really say anything. She certainly doesn't say, I didn't vote for Trump. She certainly doesn't say, I voted for Kamala. But she also had liked, I believe, a post by RFK, I want to say, saying that like he and Elon Musk and Tucker Carlson are like going to bring the country back to where it needs to be or something. And it's like, sweetie,
it's like, okay, well, now we know.
Now we know. Like, there's no way around it. You are like for this administration, which like, hey, vote for you, whoever you want to vote for. But like, I'm not supporting you in the fact that the people that have been supporting you over this entire long-ass career, because the Pussycat Dolls had 2 albums. The last album came out in what, 2008? And you've been fighting for a solo career ever since, that people have been touting like, oh, this song's actually good. You know, the people who are like touting that, making sure people knew about Don't Hold Your Breath, it was the gays. So the fact that you are voting against our like rights, voting for a person who would say such horrible things about our brethren, our trans brothers and sisters, about women, about
everyone. Fucking everybody.
The fact that you are like backing this person in any way, shape, or form as you're having this big comeback on Broadway, which again, who's supporting that? The gays, the women, not straight dudes, not whoever's for that person.
Oh, are you kidding? Straight dudes love Sunset Boulevard,
I'm sure.
The musical.
I didn't know.
Lloyd Webber's Best.
But the fact that you are doing this at this time, like, I don't want anyone to lose their jobs. I hope everyone involved in that show, besides her, has a lovely, illustrious career. But like, I was truly going to make plans to go, like, maybe next time I go to New York, I gotta see her in it. I gotta see her do this. Nothing.
Well, now you gotta get that ticket to see Audra and Gypsy, baby.
That's the thing. You know who was thrilled about all of this? Because Audra has been, I mean, like, does Audra have like 4,000 Tonys? I believe so.
She has 6.
Great.
But you know what? You need a 7th to round out the you can name after all the Von Trapp children.
Absolutely. So Audra, congratulations on your 7th Tony.
No, I feel like by the time June rolls around, like, people aren't gonna remember.
I think they'll
this.
remember.
Okay.
I think they'll, because the thing is,
we'll see y'all in June.
I will see y'all in June. We'll see. I think Audra's winning this award. I do. I think she completely sunk this campaign. And Nicole, girl, I don't know why you did that.
It's but like, can you tell us like what you thought of those couple tracks you listened to from Sunset
I listened to it twice. It's excellent.
Oh, you listened to the whole thing?
I listened to the whole thing multiple times.
Wow. Well, okay. Well,
we'll never know.
We'll never know. We'll never go into detail. But all I have to say is, regarding this production, since we now are angry at it, justice for the song "The Lady's Paying," which is my favorite song in the musical Sunset Boulevard, and they cut it from this production. So I was pissed about that, but I was willing to give this production the benefit of the doubt, and now I'm not. Justice for The Lady's Paying. Stream The Lady's Paying, sung by Glenn Close in the original Broadway cast recording on Spotify.
And weren't you saying that like that one is like a lighthearted fare or something? Explain how that song a little bit.
It's lighter. It's like up tempo. It's like jubilant.
So would you call it the Buffalo Nickel Photoplay Inc. of the score?
No.
Because you were describing a great song that someone to my right overlooked.
It's a better song.
Oh, look. I was listening to Ragtime today.
I was listening to Ragtime today too, because it's one of the greatest scores of all time. Let me tell you.
Yes.
So justice for The Lady's Paying. And Patti LuPone was on The View like a week ago, being like, Sunset Boulevard is a lumbering musical.
Saw that.
So hopefully I'm going to see this production and think it's a little less lumbering. And you know what made the show less lumbering? The song The Lady's Paying.
And I believe she went and saw that production the night that this came out.
And the night after the election.
I need to and the thing is Patti LuPone a mean lady? Yeah. I need to hear every word.
I know.
I want to hear exactly what she thought. Beyonce put out a video?
She put out something that involved camera work and makeup and hair and costume.
Yes, and she dressed as Pamela Anderson for something entitled Be Watch on her YouTube channel now.
Video.
Yes, this
video. I didn't know this was supposed to be Pamela Anderson.
Oh yeah, that's supposed to be Pamela Anderson. It's like, Baywatch, Be-Watch.
I didn't see the words Be-Watch.
Okay,
sorry,
great.
I would have gotten it if I paid attention to the details, but I was devastated.
Yes, of course we were all devastated. But yes, so Beyonce put this out. I believe it was the day of the election, the day before, because there's like a little vote thing in the visual. But I just want to say we're all so starved for like an actual music video from Beyonce that we're like, this is only 2.5 minutes and basically you posing in front of like a colored screen, and it's like, you know what, I'll take it. New Beyonce video out now.
Okay, I want to go that
Look,
far.
all we can do, we're feasting on scraps.
Sure,
this podcast.
We are starving.
We are starving.
And these days we need anything.
We really do.
So.
Olivia Rodrigo doesn't trust men that go to space. Did you see that?
I
want to go to space.
Well, I don't trust men, period.
Hey.
So
I mean, that sucks for First Man. That movie no one saw.
Oh, that movie's great. That's the only man I love. The First Man.
The First Man.
The First Man. Not to go back to like Elon Musk and like RFK Jr. and everything, all those people. And not to go back to the election, but I can't wait until Donald Trump gets into a fight with them.
That's what Janie was saying. Is like, at some point he is going to get in such a big fight with Elon Musk and publicly like remove him from whatever horrible cabinet position he's going to place him in.
And then Elon is going to take like such like loser revenge out on him, but like I'll enjoy it. But like it'll be such a mess, so annoying, and that's just what these guys do with each other, and it's embarrassing because this is
that's who y'all voted for.
Yeah,
not me.
Voted for this. Not me.
Not me.
I did what I was supposed to do.
I did exactly what I was supposed to do.
do.
Weeks ago, early voting. Martha Stewart said a reporter who covered her trial was dead now, but she's not. And the lady says, quote, "I'm alive, bitch."
Okay, I want to meet that lady now.
I know, queen. So apparently she has a new Netflix documentary, Martha Stewart, entitled Martha. And she claimed within that documentary that Andrea Payser, a New York Post columnist who covered Stewart's infamous 2004 trial, was dead now, thank goodness. Except she isn't. Payser used her latest column for the newspaper to declare, "I'm alive, bitch." She started working for New York Post in 1989 and has published at least 8 other stories in 2024. To that I say, I love that.
I love that she's alive. I'm so happy she's alive. And I just think it's interesting. It's just like, a lot of misinformation running around. Even Martha Stewart doesn't have all the information.
It's true. It's true. And the last thing, because we have gone on for a while for News for Idiots, but
unfortunately,
all that I want to say is Quincy Jones passed away.
Oh my God.
And what
devastating. What a career.
Loss. What a career. What a producer. Like, this is someone that I have known my entire life because, I've started out loving Michael Jackson records. And so you can't listen to Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad without knowing Quincy Jones is at the helm. He produced, arranged, and conducted We Are the World. He has composed for TV and film, wrote the theme song for Sanford's Son, and the score for the 1984 film The Color Purple.
1985.
Oh, I just am reading it.
Ooh, that article.
That's sorry.
Misinformation, guys. Misinformation.
Worked with Ray Charles, Duke Ellington, Frank Sinatra. It's just, this is a producer and artist that has truly shaped what music sounds like for decades and decades. A massive legend that will be sorely missed. I grew up on a lot of old Michael music, so what he can do in the studio is never beyond me. And also, if you are looking for a laugh, look up any interview with this man, especially about the Beatles. It's
my God,
so fucking funny. And heart goes out to the people who loved him: Rashida Jones, his daughter, and just everyone who's loved him and his family. But man, what a career!
I mean, had a phenomenal life. I think he was 91, so very long. I'm sure he was very happy.
Yes,
got to work with so many different people on so many different projects that were went from producing for Michael Jackson and really revolutionizing music and as far as that goes, and the stuff before Michael Jackson was revolutionary, the sounds that were so different from Michael Jackson sounds, and then doing the score to The Color Purple, a completely different thing. And he just what a talent. Talk about someone who really pushed music forward and was not afraid to try brave new things, much like the wonderful Beyonce.
Yes,
and
exactly.
So hats off to Quincy Jones. You did it.
You did do it.
Yeah.
Matt Steele, is there any other news for idiots you want to tell the people?
That's all I'm giving you.
It's all you got.
Just deep sigh.
We're breathing out.
We're breathing out.
All right, we're going to be back with more Tig and Mats in just a moment. Okay.
Were we okay, guys?
We did it. That felt good.
That was nice.
One of the most brilliant minds he absolutely was. Washington's own Quincy Jones. God bless, I didn't know he was from Washington. Ooh, this was a long segment. It was. Sorry. We had a lot to say.
Sure it was.
Yeah, I'm because thank you. Because hey, we've gotten through News for Idiots.
I know.
So it'll be a short.
I was just dreading it because I'm just there's a trillion things I want to say. Do I try to say all of them, or do I just say I'm sad?
I mean, we're sad.
I feel like it's you can't say enough, but yet you can also say too much.
I know.
As far as all this goes. I know. And that's what's so frustrating.
Y'all better run in 2028 because we need to win. We are not running. we are not running.
I don't have the answers. I'm not an expert, as I said.
Yes, we're not experts. We're just people who voted the right way. Do you like Jack Schlossberg? I mean, he's cute. I don't know much about him.
Who's that?
He is a relative of JFK.
Oh, that guy. The JFK
grandson,
I think. Yeah. He's a goofball.
Right.
He seems like fun.
Yes, he does.
And the thing is, like, he's like filthy rich.
Oh, yeah.
So I guarantee you, like, if you were to meet him in real life, you'd be like, you're a little crazy.
Totally.
Because like people who are like that insanely rich are just kind of just like automatically maybe a little crazy.
I mean, yes.
Because you're just living on a different planet.
Absolutely.
But just putting innocent, harmless, fun little videos online, it's just like, you're a good time.
I know. He does seem fun. What podcast do you listen to process the election at Palmer? Okay, if you are still angry, I would listen to... Ooh, someone said something. Gross. A, that's a child, like 19. B, disagree. Well, I forgot what I was saying. If you're still angry, listen to the last episode of The Read. It's very good. I believe the episode's entitled Flop Nation. And it's truly like... They recorded it the Wednesday. They record on Wednesdays.
Brave.
So they just are really going through it in a way that I was going through it, in a way that like listening to people feel the way I feel, and like just the hurt and the anger and the disbelief. Like I feel like Crystal especially is just like, it was really the fucking popular vote for me. Like the fact, because every other time you're like, it's the electoral college. It's the electoral college. But it's like, no, it's y'all. Mm-hmm. It is y'all and it's who y'all wanted to see. Yes, so that was a mess. But it's a great episode if you are still in that angry phase. If you're kind of trying to deal, I would listen to the last episodes of Vibes Only, which is the Brian Derrick podcast that we've talked about him, and I felt for him that night too, because I was like, you're not posting a lot of stories, and this was like your real night to do it. But yeah, I think that was like a sobering one, as was the Pod Save America one. Like both of them kind of were leaning into, you know, the fact that sure the numbers look bad and like the map looks bad, but like if 120,000 votes went a different way in the other state, all the conversations we'd be having right now would be different. Yeah. So this us really trying to solve for this problem, which sure we wanted to win, and that didn't happen, and like that's upsetting. I don't think it's as much of. I mean, we'll see probably as more comes out about like the polling figures and how people really felt.
Yeah, we have years to do that.
We have years to do it, so it'll become
and
clear.
Not we.
Us. Oh, not we.
The professionals.
Y'all have years. Yes, the professionals have years to do that. But it kind of made me understand more the headwinds that she was dealing with going into this election, and what she tried to, you know, and honestly did very well at trying to achieve in the 107 days that she was the nominee. There are a lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas, but yeah, I'm generally not mad at what happened. Yeah, with her, I'm mad at what happened.
And honestly, like I think, because I always said like back in like you know, when Biden won in 2020. You know, I was always kind of just like, yes, I think it's because he was an excellent candidate and everything. But also I feel like any president who was president during the COVID crisis, I feel like was screwed regardless of how they handled Absolutely. It. Because like no matter how like well you handled the COVID crisis, like people were going to die, and there would be some sort of lockdown situation, and people were not going to respond.
And there was going to be inflation after COVID.
And so then I'm after this, I was kind of just like, I feel like any president who was president during the like inflation that was happening, like post COVID, whatever happened, like post COVID, who had to deal with that and try to clean up that mess, I feel like was screwed anyway as well, because like no matter like all the guardrails you put up and how much you prevented, no one will know how much was prevented.
Right.
They just see the bad stuff that happened.
Right.
So I feel like whoever was president like from 2020 like to 2024 was kind of screwed.
Right. Just and it's like, how can Kamala really cut ties? Like she's the vice president. There's no way to be like, oh well, that's not me. That's not me.
Again, because like you have to tout your achievements because there were many, but also not be like, but things are great, aren't they? Like you can't do, like it's such a fine line to walk.
Right. She was walking a tightrope.
It's like such a tightrope, which, you know, like all presidents like have to do.
Yeah.
Because you're representing 300 something million fucking people.
Lala is asking, who do you think will perform at the inauguration? The world's worst people. The world. Hopefully it's just,
you know, country. Sunset Boulevard won't be closed then.
Well, maybe Nicole, maybe this is her time. I mean, honestly, I hope it's, you know, someone whose fans are already into him. Because, babe, if I'm a fan of you and you're at that inauguration, I'm deleting you off my Spotify. Like, I'm just not putting money into people who would support this man in this administration.
Have AI perform.
That's true.
Make an AI
but
song.
not the Beatles.
Not
Just the
Beatles.
AI.
Oh, I'm sure like Ringo and Paul would not appreciate their
Right. No.
catalog being involved with this. They'll probably be like, you fuckers.
Yes.
Kid Rock. People trying to say Kamala's daughter. Check
That didn't happen. Yeah.
It's like,
that's so weird. No, leave Bluey out of this. Bluey would never. Do you think Jay-Z's rant at the Grammys last year will be the reason B wins Album of the Year this year? Will they accuse the Grammys of pity awarding? I don't think people really cared about that rant, and that rant was deserved. They have played in her face for so many years.
the Grammy voters know that people are pissed.
Exactly, like with or without that rant, like it's we all know what's been happening to that woman at that award show.
Did you guys know Andre 3000 played the flute on gag order under a pseudonym? I did not know.
Oh no, I did not know that.
I listened to Gag Order relatively recently. You'd be like, what does this album sound like again? I'm just like, this is fun.
I love that everyone's sticking up for Bluey in the chat. Bluey wouldn't do this.
Bluey wouldn't do this.
She would
to
never.
us.
What do you think of Gavin Newsom as Californian citizens?
I'm into him. I like
nobody's perfect, but
him. I like him.
I like him.
Yeah, I think he's doing a solid job as governor. I truly don't know a huge amount.
Right.
Like specifically what Gavin Newsom specifically is doing, just because I'm more focused on like the federal level. But like, I'm enjoying my life here in California.
Yes. And I mean, it was an awful night, but seeing California go blue, like that was nice to see.
But Andy Bashir, I'm sure many names will be thrown out there. I'll vote for all of them. I'll vote for any of them.
Ooh, Normani was at the Wicked premiere. That's cool. Bluey the cartoon character. Yeah, that's who we're talking about.
Josh Shapiro, sure, I'll do whatever. I mean, the thing is, like, all the names that are being thrown out kind of like have like the one thing that could work against them.
Not Austin saying a sociopath for good. I think that's his description of Gavin Newsom. That's funny. Gavin Newsom, and that's what I know about him, and so that's my like a little bit of a hold up. But truly, I will be voting for him if he is the nominee.
But how will it's just like it because. Who cares about, honestly, like what we think as Californians? Because like we're going to vote Democrat no matter what. It's like what the states we need will think about whatever candidates. Like, will Michigan love them? Will Pennsylvania love them? Will Wisconsin love them? Like those are the... And so to me, like Gavin Newsom, like just sort of like visually looks like the stereotypical like DC elite like would look and everything. So I don't know what kind of appeal he would have to the people in the Rust Belt.
That's what it's hard.
So
I'm glad it's not my job.
I know
to figure out what people who are very independent and what they respond to.
Yeah,
like I'm glad that's not my job. It's not my job.
There's a lot of people who I would vote for.
Yep.
So I'm happy to be amongst good, smart, intelligent, competent human beings
who want the world to move in the right direction.
And even though we may not agree on every single solitary detail of things, you still have to vote for the direction you want to go in. Thank you. I just realized Reputation TV will be
Do you think Normani was snubbed from the Grammys? I mean, you know how we feel about
dopamine
and insomnia specifically.
Insomnia is great.
Yeah. Mudang needs to be held accountable. Oh, God.
Someone from the South like Bill Clinton that is also a fighter. I mean, Andy Bashir.
Who is Mudang? It's that famous baby hippo?
Yeah, the baby hippo. Like they put two cakes in front of Mudang. One was blue, one was red, and they saw which one it would eat, and it ate the red one. So everyone was like, Mudang predicted the election, and guess he did. 2026 midterms. Did. I didn't know that.
Yeah, don't misgender Mudang.
2026 midterms are going to be interesting. Yeah.
It's
just so crazy because the midterms, like the 2018 midterms were such a referendum against Trump. The 2022 midterms, even though the Republicans narrowly won the House, like the fact that we avoided a huge Republican sweep, like was a referendum against Trump. So what happened this time? I have a sneaky suspicion. Because it happened in 2016 as well.
What would you? Are we gonna say it or no?
I mean. It's just ironic that the two elections with women.
Right. And a woman of color.
And we're not saying that's why everyone voted in that direction.
But there were people. And it's also just sickening to my stomach that it's like, does that mean in the future when we're thinking of nominees that we have to think?
It's devastating.
It's just, what fucking year is it?
I know.
So many countries have had women leaders at this point, and America is so fucking...
Not countries that are this giant where the cultural differences between different parts of the country are completely different.
It kills me. It kills me. We'll be seeing Wicked... Friday night, Thursday night? The 22nd. So the night before our live show. If you're in LA, go to 2gamemaxlive.com. Come to our holiday live show. Yeah. Oh, my head hurts.
Yeah. Sexism and misogyny. Yeah, it's just like when people are like, you can't say it's because of sexism and misogyny and racism and everything. And it's kind of just like, okay, like...
Then prove me the fuck wrong.
Then prove me the fuck wrong. But also, like, there are, as I said, multiple reasons why people voted how they did. You can't deny that racism, sexism, misogyny
played a part.
Did not play a single solitary percentage point of a part.
Right. Oh yeah.
I fucking had it.
I mean, it was tough. It's been tough.
I fucking had it.
I know it. And but it helps. Matt Palmer of your podcast, given the analogy of Mexico just elected their first female president closely aligned. I missed your comment. There's a lot of people here tonight. Joe Biden was only our second Catholic president. Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that? Mm-mm. Oh, it was like a big deal when John F. Kennedy got elected president because people were always like, there will never be a Catholic president.
Right.
And then when Joe Biden was elected, it was like, oh my God, a second one.
So what's been giving you moments? LOL. Not Jeff trying to get us to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Whatever, Jeff. What has been giving? I don't even know.
I have something.
What positive thing? I mean, hold on. Give me a second.
All right. We're thinking.
What have I been?
Australia's first lady and only prime minister was done so dirty and backstabbed by her own party and replaced when she was one of the best leaders that we've had in the 21st century. I mean, it's like Joe Biden to me.
It's also like
that's how I feel about him. Fucking men screams Gaga, A Star Is Born. People have biases about candidates that are not straight and make it true. I hate to say Democrats also has a major issue of misogyny and racism. I rewatched
the country. Oh, the country has a misogyny and racism problem. Yeah. I think I did something positive. Oh, you know what? I'll have something.
Okay.
I'll have something.
I appreciate that Biden supported abortion rights despite being anti-choice in his personal life. Shows you can separate your personal politics from what's best for the country.
It's just, it's just, you can decide whatever you want to do with your body. Is the argument for reproductive rights.
Don't we believe in freedom?
Because the thing is, then great. If you're a Catholic, you don't think abortion's something you want to do, then don't. Have one.
I also just think it's so interesting how especially this election cycle, like the Democrats very much became the party of like patriotism and like America is great. Don't you love America and everything? And it was the Republican side that was just like America fucking sucks.
Right.
And it's like it's just so crazy.
Women can have internalized misogyny. Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Very much so.
I mean, like I have friends who like whenever they would have their phones out and they'd be scrolling through whatever, not even looking at any articles, and like a guy next to them would see a photo of just Kamala Harris standing there. Like multiple friends have said like guys would say something to the effect of like looking at their phone and being like, I'm not voting for that bitch. And it's just like, okay, y'all can't tell me that misogyny.
Right. It has nothing to do with that. Like, okay. It's
like even if you don't agree with whatever policies, like the fact that you just are flat out reducing her to just like that bitch.
That bitch.
Like,
oh.
Could California be its own country now? I mean, that would be a disaster for the rest of the United States.
It would.
We can't leave our families that are in different states.
That's true. No.
High and dry.
Yes. Okay. We only have a little bit at the end.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We do have an email my heart that's not political.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Great. It's from ASOS. Oh, this sweater, but thank you. I don't know if they still have it. I got it a couple years ago.
Okay.
All right, do you want to start? Sure.
We'll get to part 2. All right, guys, just listen to the ad.
Guys, thank you so much for listening and or watching the podcast. It means so much to us. And if you could do us a solid, go to your Apple Podcast or your Spotify app and give us a 5-star rating or review. We do only accept 5-star ratings. Anything less than that, you can just write an email to yourself about it.
Spread positivity.
We're definitely,
so 5-star ratings.
Yeah, 5 stars only. And if you're in the LA area, like I mentioned, we have a live show on November 23rd. There are still tickets available if you go to 2gaymatslive.com, TWO. We are doing a holiday podcast live recording. We're going to be arguing about holiday shit. I just started arranging a song that we're going to be singing at the end of that one. And it's going to be a lot of fucking fun. So hopefully we see you there.
I hope it's in a key I can sing.
I can move the keys.
I can fake it. I'll make it work. I want you to be highlighted.
I got the key right last time. It's going to be right this time. Don't fret.
Are we like similar vocal types?
I mean, close enough.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. It's fine.
We can both sing stars.
We can both sing stars. And also, if you are not in the LA area and want to support us, go to patreon.com/2gaymats. We actually have our Legally Blonde watch party this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific for our $10 and up patrons. But even if you want to join for $5, you can join the Discord that I was telling you about earlier and see a lot of bonus content and videos available now.
Isn't that lovely?
Yes.
I love that. So we are on Email My Heart.
Yes.
And, we went through 2 emails today, one from Lily, one from A,
yes.
That were election-based. So we talked about those earlier. But we got another email from Lily on Monday that is not election-related. But Matt Palmer, you might still not like this email.
Oh.
Because it says Big Brother.
Oh, God. I saw this email and was just like, scroll.
It's not really a question, but like it makes me feel good, so I'm reading it because I need happy things. It says, Matt Palmer, I bet you saw this come through your inbox and thought, has Matt Steele read this, or can I delete this before he sees this? I have a confession here, Matt Steele. Matt Steele talking about Big Brother is truly my favorite segment of the podcast. I'm going through the podcast from the very beginning, and every time there's a new season of Big Brother and Matt Steele makes it as giving me moments, I jump for joy. I'm not actually a Big Brother watcher, but the way he talks about this show gives us the full recap. It's just so much fun to listen to. Honestly, no question here. Just Matt Steele knows hoping Matt Steele knows there are people who love this segment of the show, and he should talk about non-current seasons he's done rewatches for, or where's the Survivor recaps. So I just wanted to read that email out loud to gloat in front of Matt Palmer. In terms of if I don't want to just do like recaps of just old seasons of Big Brother.
Right.
I feel like that's a little much. If there is like an old season of Survivor that I'm watching that I'm really into, I like so much where it's giving me moments, I will happily talk about that. Right now I'm watching Big Brother Canada 11. It's taking me a long time to get through this season because I find it so dull. I'm so sorry to the cast of Big Brother Canada 11, but
this isn't the last season, is it?
No, it's the second to last season. It's the first season where they didn't have live feeds. So if people were just like, oh, this is the beginning of the end.
Yikes.
But everyone seems very nice, but it's just a little hard to get through compared to like previous seasons of Big Brother Canada.
That's fair.
So if there's and then I'm going to go keep watching more seasons of Survivor. So if I promise you, if there is a season that really gets me going, gets my juices flowing like Cagayan or Gabon, I will let you know about it. But just like recapping every season, I feel like I don't know if everyone would be super into that.
They would not.
But maybe they do. Vote below.
Guys, also, I'm looking forward to this version of the email that's going to say, Matt, I love when you talk about Vanderpump or Housewives because it's only fair that you love what I love too. So, Lily, I'll be checking the inbox.
Lily,
see you there.
Let's hear what Lily has to say about your recaps, about Monica.
I know, Monica. Yeah, Monica was her name last year. This year it's Bronwyn, which, by the way, this is maybe 2 gay minutes. It won't be 2 minutes. Bronwyn's our new cast member who I've grown to love because she had that conversation with her daughter about her, her dad that has passed away, all of this. I'm still into Bronwyn, but Bronwyn has flown them all on a private jet, I believe to Palm Springs, and didn't invite some key cast members, which okay, I can get on board with. You're actually not friends with them right now. Don't invite them. That's fine. Her husband, who's much older and must have signed off on her being on this show because he appears, his face is not blurred, is like, yeah, they can all come, but they better not fight. I don't want this weekend to be about like drama. And I'm like, guys, you're on a reality show.
This is your job.
And so they're having a fight that's like very like base. It's not like no one's getting arrested, which has happened on that show. No one, has being shown that they were a gossip blog, which has happened on that show. It's a very like, you take up for Heather more than you take up for me. Like very like B+ level. Like this is the kind of housewives we need. And he's like, we got to send them home. they're arguing too much, they're being too mean, and like Lisa and your husband, you guys have to go. And it's like, Todd, if you don't shut the fuck up, I don't care if you paid for this vacation. We're watching a television show. She's at her job. You're interfering with her job, and like I'm the audience, and you're ruining the experience for me. So this is a message to Todd. Leave her alone. Let her do what she needs to do. She's at work.
Which is be a crazy person on live television.
That's what she's getting paid for. And she'll get paid big bucks in like 2 years. If she's on for 3 years, that's when you really start making money.
Ooh,
the
really?
first 2, you're losing money for
I'm
outfits.
sure you're making the outfits.
You're just basically like I think you're making
buying outfits.
What I've heard is you make like I want to say like around like in between 20 and 30,000 for your first season, which to me
Wait, for the whole season?
Yes.
Wait.
This is what I'm saying.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
So they're really going on just to be like, I want to build
famous.
a name for myself.
Yes.
I want to be famous.
The first 2 years on Bravo, you're making like less money than we are. Yes.
Oh, wow. And I thought
know.
no one made less money than me.
And Bronwyn is making less money on this show right now.
Wow. The struggling artists,
I
all
know.
of them.
She's just like us.
Wow.
I know.
That is a shock.
Isn't that shocking?
And then season 3, like you make, like,
you get you get a real bump.
Wow.
I
So
know.
do like people mostly get fired like after season 2?
Sometimes, but sometimes they keep them on. But it's why if you've been fired after like season 14, it's like you're clawing, you're trying your best not to lose this job.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you're making
a lot
over $1 million a year.
Wow.
I know. It's just, those contracts are wild. But anyways.
Okay, I guess that's how Andy Cohen keeps it churning them out. He's like, just pay him $20,000.
Yes, bring a new girl on. We'll have to pay her nothing.
She'll do it.
She'll do it.
I mean, hey. Producing is hard work. producing, you got to pinch your pennies wherever you can.
It's true.
So I kind of get it.
Matt Steele.
Yes.
What's been giving you moments, darling?
So, of course, I saw a piece of cinema this week. I had to really go out there, and I saw with my friend the movie written and directed and starring Jesse Eisenberg. I think it's his directorial. No, I think he's directed one thing prior to this.
Okay.
But it was directed by Jesse Eisenberg. It's called A Real Pain, and it's literally just him and Kieran Culkin, who plays his cousin. And these are two cousins. They grew up very, very close, like brothers, and they were very close with their grandmother. And their grandmother passed away. I forget how long ago their grandmother passed away. I forget if it was very recently or like a few years prior. But they had become sort of estranged just because not estranged, but like they don't see each other as often because they live in different areas of New York.
Yeah.
And they have very different lives. Jesse Eisenberg has like a wife, kid, job, and Kieran Culkin is, for lack of a better term, a fucking mess. And like truly like really like devastating, like the things that happened to him or you find out happened to him like later on in this movie. And so these two, they decide to go to Poland to visit the town that their grandmother grew up in and to do a trip. And they do like a Holocaust like tour like throughout Poland where they visit like different sites and they visit a concentration camp and everything because they're Jewish, and so they would hear the stories from their grandmother, and so they were like, Jesse Eisenberg was very much like, this is a chance for us to like do something together, and you had a really rough bout for a bit, and so we're gonna take this trip, and it's just a fucking like funny and beautiful and very simple movie that I like was very moved by and very entertained by because Jesse Eisenberg is like going on this tour with all these strangers on this very serious tour about like a very serious topic, and Kieran Culkin is just like a total mess the whole time, and like sometimes he's really fun, but sometimes it's just like, okay, you've become very inappropriate, like this is not okay. And so it's just Jesse Eisenberg trying to navigate that and like the deep like love and like care he has for his cousin while also like not being able to stand him. And I won't give it anything else away, but it's very short. It's just an hour and a half. And like as I could feel it ending, I was just like, wait, is that it? Is that it? Is that it? I don't know if this is enough. But then literally the second it ended, and I was just like, no, that was perfect. Like that is all it needed to be. There's such like a beautiful simplicity about it. I really think Kieran Culkin is one of the front runners for Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars this year, and if he won, like it would be a really, really great win. I could also see it getting like a screenplay.
Oh wow,
maybe Best Picture.
Shit,
I could see it happening. Yeah, but it was really good, really great performances. Just like a lovely, like simple story that I think is very effective.
I love that.
Really good. Yeah,
that's
I feel
amazing.
like you would like it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's not like scary.
No,
gory.
there's no scary things that
Phew,
happen. There's no
thank
body
you.
horror.
Don't want that.
There's no blood, I don't think.
That's my favorite kind of movie.
Yeah.
Blood free.
And if there is blood, it was so inconsequential I missed it.
Love that.
I know. Matt Palmer, what's been getting you through this week?
All right.
Yeah?
This is going to be base.
Okay.
But it's true. We all experienced something this past week.
Yes.
And have all been dealing and coming back out of it in our own way. And I just want to say that I am proud for those of us who have gotten to the point, which I have, where it's like I can get back to my normal routine. Like I had made it a goal of mine a couple of months ago to be like, okay, I want to make my bed every day and I want like the dishes to be in the sink, or like not in the sink, like in the dishwasher or something every night. Like I want to keep my home clean. I want to be going on my walks every day. I just like go on, like want to work out every lunch period. And, that didn't happen for a couple of days last week because it was, we were all still reeling. And so the fact that I am able to do those things again, I am like planning for my upcoming week. And it's like a low bar, but it's like getting back to that semblance of normalcy, even though something tragic has happened in our country and we will be fighting against it starting in January. I'm just glad. Starting now. I'm just glad that I'm beginning to feel feel like life again. Like it's like because you come out of that moment in such a haze and such like anger goggles, and you just start it's like you cannot get things done. And a part of my spiral included designing some new 2Gay Mats merch that's going to come out soon. And it just is like somehow I've begun investing into myself again and like doing the things that make me feel like mentally safe and sound. And the fact that I was able to get to this point in 5 days since this horrible event is bringing me some joy. It's like, okay, this is something I can do. I can't sit and wallow and be disgusted by so many people's votes forever. And so I have to begin the process of enjoying my life again and doing the things that are good for me. And I feel like I'm taking the first step in that. And if it's going to take longer for some people, I get it. There's no judgment. Do what you can, but no.
It's me. I am some people.
I know it. But you're going to get there. And it's going to be wonderful. If it involves calling and talking to a professional because you're still going through it, do whatever you need to do to make sure your life continues to be one that is filled with joy. I keep harping on joy just because I do feel like that is like the fear, the anger, the hatred, the like true, like the vitriol that we have felt, which I feel is valid and sometimes can be motivating. It's what, if in the end, if we can't dig ourselves out of that hole, it's what they feed off of. It's like what energizes that side of the aisle a lot of times, at least the president elect. So I'm not giving him that. My life is not going to be ruined by this administration. Yeah. And that started already.
And I will say that is something that I was happy to see more of this go around. That last time we were a wreck. We were and we were all just online screaming and yelling and being like, we're all gonna die and everything. This time we're kind of just like, okay, we need to again put one foot in front of the other. We've been in situations, maybe not like this before, because who knows what a second term will look like when he has worse people surrounding him. People who because the people who we had in the beginning who were able to somewhat keep him in line all fell out, and they were just like, do not vote for this man. He's a fucking psychopath.
And y'all did anyways.
Completely incompetent, and yet people did anyways. So we don't know what we're in store for, but there was more of a sense of we will try to get through it because there's no other option. Right. We must. I believe that we will come out of this because someone has to. Yeah. So that's that on that. I will say, to go back to making the bed. Yeah. That was a decision I made. I forget at what point in my adulthood. That is a fucking game changer. Yeah. When you make a point to be like, I'm going to be a person who makes my bed every morning. That is a game changer as an adult, whether you're going through hard times or not. It just feels, those of you who don't do it yet, try it.
It does
every
feel
day
good.
For a week. Make your bed, and because when you just walk into a room with an unmade bed, you're just like, my life is a disaster. Right. But then when you walk into a room with a made bed, you're kind of just like, okay.
Yes.
A made bed does wonders.
Yes. So that is where I just got to that place because, I'm pretty not wanting to do that kind of thing. Yeah. But it does make a difference. I felt the difference already, and I'm not going to let the sadness overtake me forever. No. I'm going to fight against it because we will have joy.
We will have joy.
Matt Steele.
Oh, we will have joy. Oh, that can be the title of this.
That can be the title.
What, isn't that nice?
I mean, people are going to think it's going to be a much more positive episode than it was.
Well, whatever.
Kind of.
They can all check out this podcast and hear the things we had to say.
Right.
And if they're not happy about it, well, I wish them the best. This is our podcast.
Yes. Matt Steele, is there anything else you want to tell the people?
I love you guys.
We love you so much. And we'll be back soon with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast.
Bye.
Bye. You did it though.
Yeah.
You did it though.
I did it.
Yes.
We did
and
it,
that's
Joe.
impressive. Didn't mean
so
for that
happy.
to happen.
We were so happy.
Making your bed psychology helps your mental health. And that's the thing. We need self-care. We need mental health to be at the priority at this very moment because we are all going through it.
We're all going through it.
Oh.
Okay. Well, wish you the best.
Mute them. Block them. Bye.
Bye. This is our show.
Exactly. Can I do that from here?
This is our house right now. This chat room and prayers up for you.
Yep.
Who doesn't make their bed every day?
A lot of people.
A lot of people.
Including me until like 3 weeks ago or whatever. A lot of people don't. Because I mean, it is like I have to do, like make a choice.
Well, because sometimes it's like I have something to go to in the morning,
Right.
And so I'm just if I like don't make my bed because I have somewhere to go in the morning, I'm like, oh, I'll make it later. I'll make it later today. You show up back home at like 5 o'clock, and you're like, what's the point of making it now?
Exactly.
You know. So I feel like that's what a lot of people do.
Right. Right.
Please play "Making the Bed" by Olivia. Yep.
Thank you for taking me out of my pity party for the last 2 hours. Oh gosh.
Oh, and Sandra, I didn't know you watched Big Brother Canada too. Did I? Have we talked about that? She said that she didn't like Big Brother Canada 11
Oh,
either.
that's funny. We love you, Grace. Yeah,
We love you,
Montana.
Grace.
And we can't wait to see. Oh, not to call anybody out, but we might be meeting Grace at the LA Live show.
Oh no! Oh, what's gonna happen?
I know it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna
Yes.
be nuts.
Thanks for making a great community for us. So that's very nice.
But y'all make the community. Like, we're just sitting here. We just have the camera
I
on
know.
us. Y'all are all
And
wonderful.
we just turned Discord on, and y'all are.
And y'all chat.
Y'all are
Y'all
making.
go. And like sometimes I'm like at work and everything. I'm like, oh, let me check the Discord and everything. And it's like 100 messages, and I'm like, I can't catch up with that.
I know. Making the bed is hard. And there's no judgment if you are not there and can't get there. But it has just been nice for me.
You know what I haven't done in a long time?
Huh.
I haven't rotated my mattress
Oh.
in a long time. And I need to replace my mattress anyway because it's like 9 years old and like it's time.
It's time, okay.
But I haven't rotated in a long time either. And so like I really need to do that. But like that's such a hassle because then I got to take all the sheets off.
I know.
And put them back on.
Hard life. It's a hard life. My Virgo rising would never let me leave the house without making my bed. That's funny. We go off as a citizen. I mean, yes, we're all in this together. Lala said Tay should get album of the year, and that's why they were trolling. Come on, don't do that. Can't wait to be brought on stage.
Be a robot.
Oh my God.
Discuss Wicked.
Hey, you were the first person who saw it. You saw it
I'm
before all of
happy
us.
for you. You
I
deserved
know.
that, Montana.
And how good did she look on that red carpet?
Oh, beautiful.
I was like,
oh my
yes,
God,
Montana.
son, pink, baby.
I know.
Look great. Well, Montana's got style. We all know
I
this.
know.
Yeah.
And then Chris got a shout out from Gaga. It's like
I
the
know.
Caddies have been doing incredibly
Really living
well.
their best
I
lives
know.
right
I'm just
now.
like, look at them.
I know.
Killing.
Yeah.
Oh. Right, y'all. I think it's been what?
I was really I was not looking forward to this live stream because I was just like, oh my God, I have to like
I know.
talk about this thing I just don't want to talk about. But
I
y'all
know.
made it great.
You made it great.
Like you made it very good.
And some people
so,
had to get muted. Some people had to get,
and
that
sometimes
happened.
just- my child made my bed for 3 months, and what's better than making your bed is having someone else make your bed.
I believe
Fuck
that.
Yes,
I believe that.
absolutely. How do I get to make my bed? That's why I need a boyfriend. I'm
So
like,
we can make your bed.
yeah, where it's like you make the bed while I'm cleaning the bathroom. I mean, if he was doing both, that would be really
What would you be doing?
providing the entertainment.
Okay, no. Oh God, y'all. I'm so glad that we got a chance to talk, even though this was not, we weren't excited to talk about what happened last week, but I'm glad we got to talk about it with you.
But it's our job. It's our
Fuck
job.
a bitch fastest so much. I think it's just like, if that was the same person, it's like we had been giving a pass for a long time. We love, but it's like, why come here just to do all that,
Yeah.
Making the Bed is overrated. Song-wise or thing you do-wise, both I think are wrong. Making the Bed by Olivia is amazing.
Celebrated my sister's birthday the other time. We played songs released in her birth year, and it was fun. And now we're competing with who's got the most bops in here. That is
fun. I need to look and see what mine are. Oh, maybe that could be a fun to game
that
video.
Is a fun to game video.
All right, don't hate that.
Will we have to reveal our birth years though?
People know our birth years. People know our birth years.
Make Kathy first again.
Not too soon, Michael. We're not doing any sort of first again merch. I promise you that. I promise you that. We will get through. Oh, the literal bed. LOL. Okay.
Literally, how did these people even find this live? Oh, they find ways of.
Yeah. Maybe people are like, I want to see the liberal tears, but whatever, bitch. Come join. You'll get blocked.
Come join. Thank you for giving us the hit.
Yeah, we'll take a. Watch that ad that count. Some of you saw.
Yeah, thank you for watching the ad.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And
I get pleasure knowing it's just they're on the wrong side of history.
Yeah.
History will not look fun. Regardless of whether you win now and regardless of whether your eggs are 50 cents cheaper this time next year, which they won't be because of the horrible policy plans like the tariff and everything.
Yes.
Oh, did you hear about all those people getting laid off from their jobs? And everything now, Nissan laid a bunch of people off.
And they people aren't getting bonuses.
People aren't getting
already.
Christmas bonuses because of the anticipated tariffs. It's okay, and
it's like if you voted for that man, then I don't feel bad for you because this is what you voted for.
I mean, I don't want anyone to because the thing is people who didn't vote for him will still suffer as well.
That's awful.
And that's awful.
That's awful.
So it's just all sad, but let's create a positive environment.
Yes, we are going to create a positive.
And I don't think we were too negative.
I don't think so.
I think we were rightfully angry. We vented our frustrations, but I don't think we were overtly rude to anyone.
Right, exactly.
Who wasn't rude to us first.
I mean, that's the thing. It's if you have something to say in our live chat, we reserve the right to kick you right out of there.
Yes, it's...
Oh, all right, y'all.
All right,
we gotta go. I'm so glad to do this with you guys.
Yeah, you guys are great.
And if you're at the $10 plus tier on Patreon, we'll see you Thursday for the Legally Blonde watch along.
I know. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, I know, or you would not have shown up.
Lost my mind. Completely slipped my mind.
We love you all, and watch out for also for on Patreon. I'm gonna try to do a merch preview drop so y'all can order some of those merch things I made.
They're so cute. I saw them. He puts in so much work, guys. Truly.
They are cute. I don't know why I couldn't work on my day job, but I was but I can design some fucking merch.
Yeah.
Because the people wanted new merch. They deserved it. And I found that site was Fourth Wall is really good.
That's great.
All right. We love y'all.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.